Hey, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We have DJ Never.
Yo, what up?
We have Jamie the Great.
Yep.
And DJ D Miles is MIA.
Yeah.
He's still getting his ass fixed.
ASS.
No. He's under the weather. Leave him alone, guys.
His ass is still broken.
Still hurt.
It's still in getting repaired. But big shout to D. We miss you.
Jesus Christ.
Pause. Hey, yo, and we got my man here, straight from Miami by way of Cincinnati, Ohio. The very, very talented Pase Rock. What's up, man?
What's happening? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Nah. I feel like we have very close circles.
Yes.
And we hung out maybe a couple of times, but we never really like
Chopped it up. Yeah.
We never like really got it.
Well, this is our chance.
Yeah. And I would see you in LA a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably like in the 2000s, the late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And
I met you in New York, actually.
I did meet you in New York.
Yeah.
And
a long ass time ago.
Long
when
ass
I first
time.
moved there. Ross used to bring me out to the clubs. I used to come see you all the time.
And that's when you and Ross One are like super homie type bosom buddies. You guys are close.
Basically, yes.
Pause.
Is there like an Ohio connection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there Ohio connection?
Yeah, with him.
Yeah, we're both from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys didn't know each other in Ohio? You did?
Mm-hmm.
Grew up together.
We didn't grow up together, but we went to...
Y'all went fishing together? Is that what this is? Fishing shit?
Nah, we went to rival high schools.
Okay.
So, like, if his high school football team was playing mine, it was a fucking movie.
Mm.
But he's a year younger than me. So, I think we met when... We didn't meet till he left Cincinnati. He went to college in New York.
Yeah.
And I met when he was home for one summer. I think his freshman year, maybe. So, something like that when we met.
So, like, when you was in Ohio, like, you know, I was doing some research.
Mm-hmm.
We all doing some research.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were working with high tech, huh?
Well, yep.
That's
That's my first actual music credit. I was on the Mood album Karma. I co-wrote the song Cincinnati. That's my first music credit ever. 1997.
You have a strong production resume.
Yeah.
Like your production,
Little bit. What the fuck? I kept scrolling, bro. I was like,
you have
shit.
a seriously strong production resume.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you dropped an album. You were part of a group, 5Ds.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you have a DJ background, and it
For
all
sure.
started with DJing, kind of, right? Or what?
No, not really.
Not really.
I started. I probably started rapping first. I think I started rapping first, and then actually maybe. I don't really. Let me think about it.
Because you're one of the few dudes that you do songwriting.
Songwriting mostly. I would say more than anything, I'm a songwriter.
Songwriter.
Yeah.
Because a lot of motherfuckers that do production, they just
Don't write.
produce. They don't
Yeah.
do the songwriting.
Nah, write a lot.
Yeah. So like, when dated back, and I guess, I don't know, man. You'd have to have started with rapping and.
I started rapping, I think, but I've always been more into DJing. I kind of this is what happened. I feel like I'm a DJ at heart. I always wanted to DJ. Started at the skating rinks kind of situation.
Yeah.
I was a dancer first, really. And from going to skating rink and dancing, that was like what we did in junior high. Like, that was the shit. But I was always be at the DJ booth mad at the DJ because, like, why you fucking up the flow of the dance floor? why aren't you playing, like, Ain't No Future in Front and into fucking Humpty Dance? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that would always make me mad. So I'll be fucking with the DJ all the time. His name was DJ Gup. Shout out to DJ Gup. Because I used to fuck with him all the time. And I was like, man, I'm going to be a DJ. Fuck this shit. And I say every DJ, same story. Save my lunch money, bought records. That's how it started.
You taught yourself how to scratch or some shit?
Taught myself how to scratch when I was 9.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother had she had a direct drive, like, it was one of those big ass, like, radio, like stereo console joints.
Yeah.
With the tape deck on the top. And then the turntable.
Yeah.
And then the
And the receiver.
The receiver, yeah.
In the bottom.
But it was direct drive.
Mm-hmm.
So you put the record on there and you could actually cut. There wasn't a belt drive wobbly shit.
Yeah.
So I just used the volume knob and I had Mary Mary, the single.
Yeah.
And
the Run DMC of the Monkeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary. And I just fucking imitated JMJ's scratch and that was that. I was a DJ.
That was great.
That's how I started, though, on my mom's shitty turntable.
I feel like everyone starts whatever turntable they have at the house at the time, they start messing with that.
Yeah.
I didn't have cool records like that. I had like whack shit.
Like
I had that. I had You Got to Chill. I had
Oh nah, see, I had like Disney records. I was scratching, yo.
Mickey Mouse Playhouse.
What was the other one I had? I had Public Enemy's first 12-inch. What was that one? It was like 87.
Rebel Without a Pause.
Nah,
I'm gonna get yours.
You gonna get
I'm on
yours?
Uzi Weighs
My Uzi Weighs a ton. I think so.
Yeah,
It was on the B side when they had the fucking they had the Buick on the cover with fucking 98 Pase. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I had that shit.
Yeah.
I had that. You Got to Chill. Mary. Those were like my first three records. Too Short. It was like 87 to
All the early
89.
Late 80s hip hop.
Yeah.
So were you trying to rap or were you making beats?
Nah, man. What happened was I bought the I was in like maybe 8th or 9th grade, and we had the looking at the front door
Main Source.
12-inch,
yeah.
and they had Live at the Barbecue on the B side, and we had a talent show coming up, and me and my boys was like, yo, we got to be in the talent show because we want to get the girls or whatever, and it was like 4 of us, and they was all rapping. It was 4 of us. I was going to DJ. It was one verse open, and nobody wanted to do Large Professor's verse.
Yeah.
So
You
they were
did
like,
it.
you got to write a rap. But the ad-libs were still on there. So the, ooh, you got an afro. I had to like write a rap to fit in with his ad-libs.
Oh wow.
Because it was like
That's
a TV track, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that was my first rap. It was
Oh,
over
shit.
Live at the Barbecue over Large Professor's part.
Oh shit, man.
Damn, that's not easy to do.
I know.
I mean,
yeah.
for your first rap.
So it was like,
Exactly.
ooh, you got an afro, but I'm still fresh though.
Yeah.
It was like that.
That's weird. I always wanted to produce. I always wanted to make beats and shit. And then I DJ'd later because it just kind of went hand in hand. I mean, it was all kind of together with production.
Yeah,
I mean, back
definitely.
then when hip hop started, it was like the DJ made the beats.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So it was like if you were DJing, you was the producer.
Yeah.
And you had like a hand in making the beats.
Yeah.
I started rapping because I couldn't deal with rappers.
Right.
Like the dudes on the block, they would flake all the time.
Right.
You had to they would come late. They wouldn't show up. So after a while, you just kind of have to like do your own shit, and you just end up being more productive rapping on your own shit. Right?
I never wanted to rap. This is the thing. I never wanted to rap. I never had no desire to be a rapper. It was always somebody asking me to rap, and then later became paying me to rap. I was never something I wanted to do. I was always felt like I was better in group dynamics, so it was always like me and other people. And they would be like, yo, you gotta do it, like you're good, you're dope, and they just be like gassing me up and cheering me on. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm good, and then, you know.
Yeah.
But I listen back and I'm like, I wasn't good. They was just lying. Like,
They're gassing me out.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you had a whole album, and you
I
were
got
part of
paid.
a group. Yeah.
I got paid.
So you can be.
What does that mean? What does that mean that I got paid?
I didn't want to do it.
What?
I got paid to do. Well, I'm gonna say no to some money.
Wait, so the label gave you money?
Yeah, basically.
Was
This is a story I don't really tell, but I'm gonna give y'all this exclusive story.
Yeah. This is the bullshit as usual album.
Yeah,
right?
I get. This is a crazy story. I was in the group 5Ds.
Yeah.
Man, I told this story so many times. Let me give you the clip. I'm gonna try to keep it short. But basically, what happened was, I did all the cover design for our albums and stuff like that. So the distribution company was like, "Yo, who does y'all covers?" And I was like, "Oh, me." They were like, "Yo, we need an art director here at the company. You want the job?" They offered me a job. I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I got this job in Boston, working at a distribution company, Landspeed at the time. And my first week on the job, they were like, "Yo, this dude in Japan is like a huge 5Ds fan. He wants to fly you to Japan and like have you rap on his tracks." And I was like, "What?" Like, excuse me? Fucking week after that, I get the phone call like, "Yo, this dude don't speak English. Can you come to Japan?" He sent me some beats. I was like, "They all right, like whatever." And he bought me a flight like right there on the spot. And like 2 weeks later, I like went to Japan.
Was that your first time?
First time.
Damn.
And he paid me handsomely per song. And we did I stayed there like 10 days. We did like 5 songs. And then I went home and I was like, oh, that was a cool experience. You know what I mean? And I was thinking like, it's in Japan. Nobody will ever hear it. It don't matter if it's whack.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to stay in Japan. It's not going to leave. I was sadly fucking mistaken. But that was I was like, cool. I just got a little bag, go back home. Nobody's ever going to hear this shit. You know what I mean? And then like, probably 9 months later, I was at home in Cincinnati. I went to the record store, Everybody's. And they were like, yo, we got your new record in. And I was like, new 5D's record? What are you talking about? Like, nah, Pase Rock. And I'm like, who's Pase Rock? Because my name wasn't Pase Rock at the time.
Yeah. What was your name?
It was just Pase and then something else. Pase is my graffiti name. So I never really had like a name. It was just like Pase LaRock or Pacey Pace or like Pace something, Arthur Pacerelli. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
fucking dope name.
So, dude.
The sad thing is all of those names were dope.
Yeah.
Like, I would have taken any one of those names.
I mean, Pase Rock was probably one of them, but it was like Pase LaRock. I use Pase LaRock a lot. But it was like Pase LaRock, Pase Rock, Arthur Pacerelli, Pacey Pace.
Pase Rock has such it's such a good name.
I appreciate it.
Very memorable, very.
It sounds
impactful.
like it sounds legendary. It sounds like a legend.
Yeah, legend.
No, definitely.
Doesn't everybody hate their name though at some point?
Yeah, but yours is pretty dope.
Nah, that's pretty dope.
All right.
I put it up there. Roctacon's another good name.
Roctacon's a great name.
Yeah.
That's
Pace
a great
Rock.
name.
If I told someone about Pace Rock, I feel like I could G it up like it was like
the story could be embellished. It could be embellished.
Yeah.
Word.
Like Pace Rock, He came up with like Grandmaster Flash, Pace Rock,
Big Daddy Kane. Yeah. Big Daddy Kane is the best name.
No, it's funny when A$AP Rocky first came out. I was like, yo, he's biting off for Pace Rock.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think of that, but yeah, I see why.
I can't front.
Yes.
When I do think of Pace Rock, I always think of Pace One, the rapper.
True. That's
I declare
funny.
war.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I always
Shout
think
out
of
to
that
Pace
shit.
One. You know, it's a lot of paces in the game.
Is that?
Yeah.
Fast
I mean,
pace,
on some graffiti shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that seems like
So
I feel like I saw a lot of
paces in the
shit.
lot of paces in the game.
So you was doing graffiti in Cincinnati?
Yeah, that was like my thing.
Damn.
That was like my thing.
You was like all hip hopped out.
Fucking all the way.
It's so crazy, right? How you were probably like that too. You probably. I feel like all of us that grew up in, we probably all came around the same era.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us did graffiti at one point.
Yeah.
But I was like crazy.
Yeah.
I was
like you were jumping on billboards and shit.
I was doing crazy shit.
Really?
Not like my friends were harder than me.
Yeah.
But I had to keep up. So we didn't have shit to do. We live in Cincinnati.
Was you like bombing walls, like doing pieces on the walls?
Dog. You name it, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in my crew. I was like the least active one.
Mm-hmm.
But to others, you were active.
But I mean, I look back on it like I did a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, who was the producer from Japan that flew you out?
Nuja Bass.
Nice. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Respectful guy.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
He passed away.
In a car accident.
Yeah.
Oh,
2010.
Man.
But great production, well respected.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say that, but I was like,
that's crazy that what happened to you where you just dropped an album like that.
Well, it was like a 3-year process, but yeah, that album was like probably 5-6 trips to Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then it just came out. It was I'm always shocked that motherfuckers can drop music without you knowing.
I mean, it was Japan only at the time.
So that was like an import at the record store?
Yep.
So I have a question. Did you get any publishing from that?
No, still don't.
Oh, they just paid you.
I did a flat fee up front. I mean, I probably shouldn't talk about it because there's some like legal things we're working out still. Okay. Because he passed away, so his catalog is very valuable.
Yeah.
He's the number 3 top streaming artist in Japan.
Yeah. And he died like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. So his catalog is very valuable.
When did the streaming become a problem for a lot of music that's out right now?
I mean, it's happening now.
It's becoming like a problem, right?
If you didn't clear samples, it's an issue because they can catch you so easily. They got software to track. Like, this is that sample. Shazam.
What's your perspective on the De La Soul and Tommy Boy thing?
Oh man, it's just
I feel like no one's really seeing it from Tommy Boy's perspective.
I agree. I mean, there's 2 perspectives. I think, but based on even what De La is admitting to it, it's just a fucked up situation.
Right.
But basically, Tommy Boy didn't do their due diligence at the time. But shit, who did?
Right.
You know, they were an indie label.
But I feel like in the beginning of hip hop at that time, they honestly kind of just like, let's just put it out.
Yeah.
And if we get caught for anything,
fuck it.
You know, like we'll pay them or we'll give them some publishing and some shit.
Yeah.
And then not till what was the biggest lawsuit that made everyone change sampling?
The Bismarcky.
Yeah.
The Bismarcky joint. And then I feel like also what's his name when Lord Tariq and Peter Guns.
The Steely Dan one?
Yeah.
Steely Dan. I feel like they got. I mean, I heard about that.
They sued them or?
Yeah,
Steely Dan they took 100% of that.
Yeah,
they took everything.
I don't think they got any money off of that record.
I think that was the wake up point because then all the beats started changing and everyone started using different producers.
Man, listen, I'm all for it because if somebody sample your shit and you got to get it cleared and they like, look, you can have it, but I'm taking all the publishing. I ain't mad. I feel that shit.
Damn.
I feel it. You can't have shit. I think like MIA Paper Planes, the Clash took like 98% of that record or some shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's a smash record, so MIA, Switch, and Diplo still got to split whatever was left. I don't know if they. I don't.
What sample was it that they used?
It's the Clash.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't know what they took. Don't quote me because it's not correct. But they took a majority chunk of the record, and Maya West and Switch had to split the rest.
Yeah.
Still probably a $20 million record. You know what I'm saying? So
the 2%'s
not that
yeah,
bad.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got 3% of a fucking $30 million record. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a nice little check. Nice little 3%.
I mean, I'm throwing numbers out there. I don't know if it's accurate, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
If it's like a big ass record, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, you're still getting paid off.
Like, if you didn't want him to take it, you shouldn't have sampled it.
Yeah.
And that's how I approach shit now too. I'm actually going through that with Ross right now because he only wants to sample, and I'm like, dog, we ain't gonna make no money off this shit.
Yeah.
Like, this beat is dope, but
I was gonna talk to you about that because you have a production deal with Roc Nation.
yeah.
And you recently got that, right? Or
Nah, I just recently announced it, but it was a.
Oh, you've
it's
been
a
had
minute.
it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
been
okay.
a minute.
All right. So by the time it leaked to me, it was old news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was no news because it was just hush. I wasn't talking about it. I was just doing the work.
When I heard about it, I was really happy about it because
Yeah,
I thought
thank you.
it's a big deal, right?
Huge deal for me. It was a huge deal. It was a game changer. It was a life changer.
Can you explain what a publishing deal is? Because I don't really
Yeah.
understand. This is my vague idea of what a publishing deal is.
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot of beats.
Mm-hmm.
Who labels usually give publishing deals, or how does it work?
Nah. Well, Rock has like a bunch of different departments. So they got a publishing department. They got record label department. They got distribution. They got streaming.
The publishing department was like, "Yo, we really like your beats."
Nah, that's not what happened. It was basically like,
how does it generate interest? Because let me tell you my fucked up version, and then you can check me. Right?
Okay.
So like my thinking is that a label sees a producer, and they're like, "Yo, this dude's been like." We've been listening to this dude beats, and we don't want him giving this shit to anybody else.
Maybe it could happen like that.
Yeah. So then they're like, let's sign him to a publishing deal. Let's give him in advance. Almost treat him like an artist. And whatever beats he makes has to filter through us. If we don't want it, then he can shop it to somebody else. But we still get paid off with the publishing.
Yeah.
Is that basically what a publishing deal is?
It can't be. There's a whole bunch of different types of publishing deals too.
Where you're kind of giving them a commission of your publishing for everything you make, pretty much.
Yeah, for a certain amount of time.
But then, what do you get in return? Just do you get access to artists that you wouldn't normally get to, or what is
Sure,
it?
in some cases, yeah.
And you get just have relationships and opportunities or anything like that.
I can only speak in every publishing company is gonna sell you whatever they're gonna sell you. We can do this for you. We can do this for you. Whether they follow through with it or not is a different story. But I'm sure that they all say, and a lot of them have leverage, and a lot, if you're getting signed to Universal or whatever, that's fucking like anybody that you could want to work with probably.
Right.
So they were like, you could use everybody that we have available, or all of our writers, you can work with all these writers. So for me, it's basically like a network. But also with Rock, they do a lot of like licensing and then like syncs, so like TV, commercial, advertising.
So they'll come up to you and they'll be like, look, there's a show that's about to drop. They need some beats. You want to set up a meeting with them? Yeah,
sometimes in theory. It just depends. It's always different. But I get briefings every month, basically. So like big top of every month, I get like, here's this month. This is what we're looking for this. And then sometimes it's just like, oh, you would be perfect for this. Do you have any music that fixed this? Because a lot of time it's a client.
So it's almost like an agency a little bit.
Sort of, yeah. For music.
Agency/management company.
For compositions.
Wow.
Because it doesn't have to be like songs. It could be like, we need somebody to do the score for this.
Got it. So if a producer gets a publishing deal, it's kind of like they scored a label, like a deal, record label almost.
Something like that, yeah.
Right.
And in my case, the main reason I wanted to do it because I wanted to get more in the songwriting world too, to like do both sides. But me and Ross, we have a production company. Basically, we're a production duo, and it's like a venture. So we went into it like that with that approach.
Yeah.
But my intention was like, this is somewhere where I can go and like flex my songwriting chops too,
Mm-hmm.
or like even sharpen up my skills, because they can put me in rooms with people that I wouldn't otherwise be in rooms with,
Yeah.
and learn from them and learn from their processes and stuff like that. You know.
So
what I
do
mean?
you have to hit up Roc Nation and be like, look, man, I kind of want to work with this writer and this writer. Can y'all make it happen? How does that work?
Sometimes, I mean, lately,
Or is it more like this writer has this really great song? Do you think you can build something around this song?
sometimes I get calls to like punch stuff up,
Mm.
like we got this, and like, you know,
Yeah.
not from rock, but like just from working.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what do you think about this? Oh, it's cool, but you think you could do something with it? You know,
Mhm.
and sometimes that might be like a remix.
Yeah.
Sometimes that might be a rewrite.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so interesting, man, because I talked to my brother. My brother's all into Hollywood and movies and
Mhm.
scripts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the work that writers get in Hollywood is insane. And the way
Yeah.
shit works, like,
Yeah.
for example, if I have an idea for a movie or if I have an idea for a show or anything, I can write a script and I could sell it to a movie studio. But as soon as I sell it to the movie studio, I lose all ownership of it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what happened to the Wayans with Scary Movie.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they own everything, the branding, the
Mhm.
franchise,
Yeah.
everything. They own.
But that's the deal
Yeah.
that you make. You don't have to make that deal.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
So it's so important in Hollywood to have an accountant and
Mhm.
an agent. An
Mhm.
accountant, usually accountant or a lawyer, to like literally protect you. I would think
Mhm.
more a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
To protect you on the contracts. And then my brother was telling me that as a writer, you're almost better creating a graphic novel or writing a book
Mm-hmm.
because then it becomes published.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Because you
once-
own the
you-
copyright and the composition.
You own everything about the story, the
Mhm.
characters, the name.
Mhm.
You own the whole brand of whatever story you created.
It's the same game.
It's the same game, and then what you want to do is you want to license it to the
Exactly.
movie studios.
Exactly.
So they
Right.
could take if they take those characters,
Exactly.
they would get paid off.
That's
of that.
why, like a lot of comic book, like a lot of writers are doing comic books. They're
Mhm.
publishing the comic books,
Mhm.
and while the comic is not even done yet, their agent is talking to the movie studios like this is going to be the next shit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're already working on movie deals for comics
Yeah.
and like graphic novels that haven't been released yet.
Yep.
That you're probably not going to see until 8 years.
Well, it gives you more leverage too.
Yeah.
Same thing. So when you go into that meeting, you have more leverage because it's like, oh, I already own this shit. It's not just an idea,
Mhm.
Yeah.
something that already actually exists.
Right.
So they got to license it, and they only license it for like X amount of time. So it's like if you want to make the first movie and what would be like, a sequel and 3-4 more, you only get it for like 10 years or whatever, or 3
Mhm.
or whatever you negotiate that time is. And the same thing with music. It's like the deal I did with Rock it's a co-publishing deal. It's not a complete publishing deal.
Mm.
So they own my copyrights they don't own my copyrights. They own a piece of my copyrights for a specific amount of time for anything that I make in that time period. So
But
they don't own my copyrights, any of my copyrights.
It's almost like a
from before
licensing
that.
then.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a limit of how much they can own? Like if you do 7, or did you?
It's not. It's just.
It's a time period, right?
It's a time period.
Okay. So you can do 100, or
So
you can just do 10.
we own a certain percentage. In my specific case, it's like we own this percentage of anything that you create
Mhm.
for this amount of time.
Okay.
And it's not crazy. It's
Mhm.
like not a crazy number. Like they don't own me, or they don't own my music or nothing like that.
Right.
It's co-publishing, so they're co-owners with me,
Right.
and it's just my publishing. I still am 100% of my writer.
That's great.
That's
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying?
That's an ideal. That's a
Situation.
partnership, pretty much.
Yeah. So my
almost.
your publishing split in half. So there's a publishing company that I have, Cheese Snob Music,
Yeah.
and there's the other half that's my government name, Patrick Johnson. That's the writer that
Yeah.
writes for Cheese Snob Music.
Mm.
Patrick Johnson still owns 100% of what Patrick Johnson writes.
Yeah.
The publishing half, I did a co-publishing deal with Roc Nation that they get a piece of my publishing,
Okay.
but not my writers.
I follow.
I
I
follow.
follow. I barely follow, but I follow.
What was why did you go with your government name instead of Pase Rock? Because when I was doing research, I was like, who the fuck is Patrick Johnson?
And the Roc Nation thing?
Yeah.
That might be a typo. That
Oh,
might
really?
because I did the deal with me as a writer.
Okay.
So-
big ass letters, Patrick Johnson.
Right.
Like, wait, that's Pase Rock.
Yeah.
So you have a production partnership with Ross,
Yeah.
right?
Ross
Basically, and I talked to him briefly about it, but I know Ross is so like you know, he doesn't like to talk about anything, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So he's very private and stuff like that, you know. He's played me a couple of beats, and they're amazing, bro.
He played us that one in my car that one time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That shit was incredible.
Yeah, it's insane.
And he got some shit.
He got some shit, and he's been working with you guys.
For sure.
But I was talking about the dynamic of it without telling too much about it. It's kind of like if I was to explain it, and I'm like, yo, I'm really good at keys, and I'm really good at building melodies. But honestly, I don't know how to sequence the drums nowadays for all the I don't know how to do like those future drums and those like. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
trappy sound.
Yeah, I don't know the trappy sound, but I can definitely build a song. And I never can build a trappy sound.
Right.
So you're kind of working together where I'm giving him keys, and he's like, "Oh, I'll do this with the drums. I'll add this." And then you guys will like kind of come together and say like, "Oh, let's get this and let's add this."
That happens with us a lot.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It sounds like a great partnership.
It's dope. I mean, we just passed. It's like you know, two heads are better than one.
Pause. Yeah.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so y'all
double
been doing
penetration, the whole shit.
How's it going, Pase?
Y'all been working on this for a minute.
Yeah, we've been working for a minute. This is the thing. I think when you get older, it's like, yo, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's exactly it.
That's what happened.
You know, and I gotta tell like these young. Let's tell these young dudes something.
Talk to these young bucks.
Let's talk to these young dudes.
Let's talk to them.
I feel like everyone wants to be the one.
Make sure.
And they want to be the one, and you spend so much time being a one that you're around talented people and you don't work with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you really got to be aware of the motherfuckers around you.
Yeah.
And really just be like, yo, we got to work together, man, because you're doing some shit and I'm doing some shit. And if y'all working on the same energy flow, y'all should be working. Of course, do your own shit on the side.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with like building with another motherfucker or a crew of motherfuckers.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
With me and Ross, like, I'll tell you, like, not to get on some sappy shit, but Ross done saved my life like multiple times. Like multiple. Ross got me out of Cincinnati. Like straight up. He was like, yo, you gotta get the fuck out of there.
Wait, was Ross the first one? He went to New York, and then he went to Miami, right?
Yeah.
So did he bring you to New York or Miami? Because you're in Miami now.
Yeah. I mean, probably both actually. Both. I mean,
so you kind of like just following the steps. You going from New York to Miami?
Not. Well, actually, what happened was, so me and Ross and my buddy Brent, shout out to Brentinho, we went to Brazil on like a fucking crazy sabbatical. I ain't gonna say the year because I want to date myself like that, but it was a long ass time ago. And,
sounds like a good time.
Yeah, we went to Brazil. Ross was like, "Yo, I used to do this festival called Scribble Jam, and Ross was the he was the DJ for our B-boy battle. That's how I met him. And so he would come back every August. We do the festival, and we catch up, whatever. And one year he came back and he was like, "Yo, I went to Brazil last summer, or I went to Brazil last winter. And shit blew my mind. He was like, you the only person I know that can just go to Brazil for 2 months. So I'm going in January and you coming with me." And I was like, okay. Because I didn't have a job, you know. I was a DJ.
Yeah.
But I was a DJ in Cincinnati. I wasn't doing shit. I was doing 5D shit. I was doing music and just hustling. But, you know, I quit my day job like in the 90s. So, you know, like when you're a young adult, you don't know, none of your boys are not working. You know what I'm saying? And I was the one person, like I had money, but I wasn't working. So I could go to Brazil. So he was like, "Yo, you coming with me?" And I was like, "All right, cool." So we went to Brazil for like 2 months.
Yeah.
With my boy, with Brent. I met Brent in Brazil with Ross. And the whole time I was working on this bid. We were doing the 10-year anniversary of Scribble Jam, and I was doing a exhibit at the Contemporary Arts Center. It was, you know, Zaha Hadid, the architect?
No. What is that? No. Who is that?
She's a famous architect. She died in Miami, actually.
Oh, shit.
Doing this building that's just opening now. Anyway, she's a huge deal in the architecture world. She designed the art museum in Cincinnati and had just opened, and they gave us one of the first exhibits for Scribble Jam. We did like a hip hop exhibit. So I was working on this exhibit while I was in Brazil, and they were like, "Yo, you're doing a fucking exhibit at the fucking Zaha Hadid Museum?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They were like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
But in Cincinnati, it was like the ceiling's like this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like punching that motherfucker like.
Right.
So they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And they were like, "Yo, you gotta get the fuck out of there. You're doing this shit in Cincinnati. What are you doing in Cincinnati?" So you gotta get the fuck out of there. And then while we were in Brazil, they convinced me that I needed to leave. So when I got back, I left to move to New York.
It's so funny that you say that because if you stay in one place for a long time, you don't see. I guess you don't see like. I guess how you're limiting yourself. You don't see the limitations you're setting on yourself.
I thought I was killing it.
Yeah,
I thought I was killing it because nobody told me shit.
You had no intentions of leaving?
Nah, because I was going to Japan twice a year. I was touring the world. I was like making. I was, I was young. I was making money, and I was never left my hometown. That shit don't happen. So I was like, I'm fucking killing it. Can't nobody tell me shit. I had a residency at a fucking at the only nightclub in town.
It's kind of like you're in this like it's like you're in this.
It's a bubble.
Yeah, it's like a little bubble, but you're so comfortable in the bubble,
right?
You don't even want to venture out.
Nah.
Yeah.
But I was good. Like Cincinnati's not. I mean, I don't want to shit on Cincinnati, but it ain't the kind of place where you just want to be completely all the time,
right? If
you're like trying to do shit, but I was always leaving, like I was always gone.
Yeah,
so when I would come back, they would be like, "Oh, where you coming from now?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I was just, I didn't." I'm bragging and shit because I'm 20. Something I was like, "Yo, I just went to this, I just did that." And da, 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 da. I thought I was killing it, but to Ross and them, they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know what I'm saying?
So like you're swimming in this little pond,
right?
Pace,
I was a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
And then
he just kept going in circles, but he's like, "Yo, it's fine.
Exactly, it's cool." I was like,
deep. I can jump.
I had my little hustles down. You know what I'm saying? I was good, but I wasn't good. I just didn't know it.
Did you see like when you moved, so you went to New York after that, right? When you went to New York, I mean, you probably when you even went to Brazil, but probably more New York. But
New York,
yeah. When you went to New York, did you see how limited your
For
perspective was at that time?
I was tripping.
Yeah,
I was tripping. I mean, I'm probably still tripping, but I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an only child, so I only get one perspective,
Right.
I don't have nobody else telling me like, nah, then nobody's course correcting me, So only my friends do it. And Ross was like, "Yo, get the fuck out of there, bro.
Yeah.
That shit ain't popping."
It's crazy.
Real quick, before we move, because you mentioned Scribble Jam, what did you have like?
There was 4 organizers. I was one of the 4.
Oh shit! Yeah. Scribble Jam also had some battle rap, so that's why I'm geeking out.
Yeah.
Famous for Eminem Juice battle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I was a fan of the things after were like Illmatic. I mean, Immaculate and Thesaurus and all those guys.
Right.
How did you get caught up in that?
I started it.
Really?
It was my idea, actually.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That's amazing. I didn't even know.
Graffiti shit. Scribble was a magazine. It was a graffiti magazine. So,
but it had like certain sections, like the battle rap, the DJ, the beat.
So they like my friends who did the magazine. It was my graffiti crew's magazine, but the 2 dudes in my crew that did the magazine, they were like ambitious dudes, and like kind of had money. So they were like, "We're gonna do this magazine for real." They turned it into a business. So they were like, "Yeah, we want to throw a party for the first issue of the magazine." And I was like, "Y'all should do a hip hop, all elements type this and da da da." And I was like, "We just do this and we'll do that and do that." So they did it. They got with Mr. Dibbs. Shout out to Mr. Dibbs. They did it with him. I was out of town when they did the first one, but it was just like a little party. It was like 100 people. And then in '97, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it for real." And that's when I really got involved. But it was my idea.
That's so crazy.
That's fucking amazing. Thank you for all those great
you're
battles.
the founder of the Scribble.
Basically.
Scribble Jam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
But it was me. I can't take all the credit. It was me, Dibbs, my boy Fat Nick, Tony Heights, and Jason Brunson, R.I.P. He passed away too.
How many years has that been going?
Dude, Scribble Jam was something.
It's done now.
It's done now, but
I did the first 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I moved to New York, and then they did 3 more after I left.
Shit.
Yeah.
Why did it stop?
Money. Basically. Cincinnati's because it got big. Like we make money off that
deal,
shit,
bro.
Yeah.
At one time, we were the biggest hip hop festival in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, in Cincinnati.
So would you be as bold to say you were the first hip hop festival?
Fresh Fest probably was, but like in the '90s to the early 2000s, there wasn't like Paid Dues was after us.
Yeah.
Rock the Bells.
Rock the Bells was after us. All of them they used us as a blueprint, but we were such a small market that, we got like the Scion. We were like the first people to do the Scion shit because
that's when Scion had the marketing dollars. They were throwing shit.
We were like early Scion. Marketing shit. But it's such a small market. But the thing was that we had the whole Midwest. Everybody came from the Midwest to Cincinnati for the thing. So even though it was a small ass market, we had Chicago, we had St. Louis, we had Minneapolis, we had Indianapolis,
right?
We had Louisville, Lexington, Kentucky,
Michigan.
Detroit, like everybody, like
big market.
Yeah. The whole like
pretty much slept on market too.
Yeah, like 10 hours any driving. Anyway, New York too. New York came heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Bro, Scribble Jam, like, if
New
you
York
won,
came
if
heavy.
you won Scribble Jam as a battle rapper, you were well respected.
For
There's only a
sure.
few people that won.
Eminem lost.
Yeah.
Who beat Eminem?
Juice.
We're not into this battle rap shit.
Yeah, I'm the geek here. I'm the one.
It was Eminem, Juice, Rhymefest, and Dose One, the 4 finalists.
And that was like,
Okay.
who?
I mean,
Eminem?
I know Rhymefest.
And you know Eminem.
You know M, yeah.
Yeah. Juice allegedly ghost wrote "Summertime" by Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Allegedly.
I thought it was Rakim.
That's allegedly also.
There's so many
Go
alleged.
Summertime? I
Yeah.
don't know, but I never heard that.
That could
story.
be. I could just be making it up. It could be an old wives' tale, but
Yeah.
I thought Rakim wrote Summertime.
No, I never heard that one before.
Jazzy Jeff said Will Smith.
Here it
wrote
is, the groove slightly transformed. Some of the
I mean, it sounds like a flow.
It sounds like a Rakim flow.
I feel like he
Wait,
probably-
hold on. Didn't y'all have Jazzy Jeff on here?
No,
we don't have
we're
Jeff
not
on
that
that.
cool pace yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Drink Chance. It was Drink Chance. Maybe.
They were talking about that. Yeah, I think they
He
said
said
that.
He said Will Smith wrote it.
He
on
did
there.
say it.
That's what he
okay.
said.
I mean, Will Smith probably bit off of Rakim.
Because I always heard it was Juice, and then I heard it was Rakim. Anyway, I was just trying to tell you who Juice was.
Okay.
But Juice is a dope ass
So he's
rapper
dope,
from Chicago.
But to be honest, I can't really see Will Smith using a ghostwriter to be, you know.
What are you talking about?
But he did.
He can't?
Nas wrote
Getting
jiggy with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never knew that?
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that shit
100%.
either.
Nas?
Yeah. We out here
Get
spilling
jiggy
all the
with it.
beans.
That was the Trackmasters produced that, and Nas is working closely with the Trackmasters at the time.
Yeah.
So he wrote
Really?
that for Will Smith.
Oh shit.
Will
well, I
Smith
take
had
that
mag.
back.
Will Smith still has ghostwriters. Sorry, Will.
Yeah, man.
So wait, you were the first hip hop festival, and then essentially you're.
I don't know if we were the first, but
What?
we like to claim it for
Okay,
marketing
so
let's
purposes.
just say
He
they're
said
the
the
first.
first,
yeah, first, and essentially the first battle rap league. If
Yeah, for sure.
dude,
Fresh-
yo,
Talk your shit, Pace.
yeah, talk that
Yeah,
shit.
go ahead,
Yeah.
man.
Talk your shit,
I just
Pace.
want to say Fresh Fest was the first.
Fresh Fest was,
And that's
yeah.
fine. That's,
Other
that's
than that,
fine.
Fresh
That's-
what?
that's-
Fresh what?
I mean, this was we started in '96, so I can't take. I don't know what was going on before that.
That's
Fresh Fest.
dope though. Like
Nah,
that's
yeah,
real respectful, man. As a
Yeah.
battle rap geek, I'm like shit.
Yeah.
That's I didn't know that shit.
That's how I know Ross, because he was the DJ for the B-boy battle.
Yeah, once he said Scribble
wow,
Jam, I was
man.
like, that cannot be another Scribble Jam. It has to be the same one.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's
that's
not
dope.
something I really talk about because not a lot of people know about it, but
I was buying the tapes, bro.
yeah.
Nah, I'm pretty.
We-
I'm pretty impressed.
I
It was
never,
a-
and I
it was
never actually, I never knew Ross was like a battle, like a DJ like that. Like
Oh
he
man, Ross is
Wow,
Ross
man.
is the real deal.
yeah.
Because
I know he was dope, but I didn't know like he was.
Nah,
like,
he's the real
doing-
deal.
He's
No,
got a lot of. He knows a lot of music, bro. Like
Yeah.
his catalog of
His
music.
his
and-
record
Oh,
collection.
yeah,
is,
I could imagine.
crazy.
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
records are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know crazy diggers. I know crazy record diggers,
Uh-huh.
and Ross is up there with the crazy record diggers
He
that I
is,
know.
Wow.
he fiends for the dig.
I'm in a
Oh,
group chat with him, and he be just texting some shit that
He be
is
like-
not interesting to me at all. Yo.
I mean,
Like,
listen, we make beats together. He's like, yo, you know that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, dog. What you talking about?
But you gotta know this, Pase.
For sure.
is that a thing with y'all Cincinnati, Ohio ass motherfuckers that y'all don't like talk about or brag about anything? You really just kind of keep it in your like inside pocket.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm bragging about it right now.
You're not really though.
I know,
It's like
right?
such
And
a-
it was
I'm
like
kinda
years
happy
later. Yeah.
Nah, but I never.
We was the first motherfucker. It was nothing like that.
Nah,
It's
but
like, yeah, you know,
people-
we did this.
People don't know my story, and I don't really talk about it because who gives a fuck? But like,
Come on, bro.
People want to know.
if you interviewing me, I'm gonna tell you.
Scribble Jam, come on, bro. To
Yeah.
Say, don't
that's
say
up
people
there.
don't give a fuck. You're
I know,
on a
right?
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
motherfucker,
man.
you know,
I give a fuck.
I mean, I'm just saying, people don't really give a fuck at the end of the day.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed, man. You know.
No, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
real respectful, man.
But I'm just saying that's kind of how I got my feet wet with a lot of things was from doing the festival.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from it. That was like my first business, probably.
Yeah.
The first time I really had to take a business seriously.
Mhm.
So I learned a lot from that. First time having business partners, having to be held accountable for things, responsibilities. If you don't come through, this shit's fucked.
Right.
So
How many people were going to that shit when you were?
Oh man, at our height, so it was at the peak. It started with one day. It was like a Friday, and then it was like we can't do this just on a Friday. Then we got Friday and Saturday, and then it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then it was like fuck, we gotta do the whole week. It was like Wednesday to fucking Monday, But Friday, Saturday being the main days, I think at our peak we probably did like 25,000 people.
Wow,
it's yeah, bro. It was
and that's like doing deals with hotels.
Yeah, I mean
convention centers, all that shit. Right?
We brought Cincinnati so much fucking money.
Wow,
like during and there was 13 years of it.
Yeah.
We brought the town.
The hot ones was like, I remember I was like 12, 11.
That's why he was feeling himself.
Yeah.
He was the big one. He was the boss in it. He was the Rick Ross.
Tell me shit. Couldn't tell me shit.
Who can say they had Eminem lose a battle at their fucking event, bro? That's fucking insane.
But on some real shit.
I'm not mad at him for staying in Cincinnati.
You should have stayed in the car.
And just for the record, I want to shout anybody from Cincinnati watching. I want to shout out Cincinnati because I've shit on Cincinnati a lot in my past, but I haven't lived there for like 15 years, and I fucking love that place.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's a dope ass town.
Man, that's so respectful, bro. You guys still have some rings laying around on Scribble Jam?
Probably, but a lot of shit comes from Cincinnati, man, and people don't know that shit. A lot of shit.
Like Ohio players.
All the music.
Ohio players.
I think they're from Cleveland, but Roger Troutman, Zapp, fucking Slaves from Dayton, fucking.
I thought Slave was from LA for some reason.
Nah, man. Dayton, Ohio. I had dinner with Steve Arrington like not too long ago.
Get out of here.
He still lives there.
Can you break down the difference between Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton?
Yes.
What's the differences?
Well, Cleveland's 5 hours away from us, so it's a completely different. We're at the southern tip of Ohio.
Yeah.
Cleveland's at the most northern tip.
You're kind of closer to Kentucky, right?
Yeah, we are. Our airport's in Kentucky, so it's
you
on the border.
You have
of
a slight
Kentucky.
country.
Yeah.
You have a slight country accent.
Yeah, for sure. Cause it's
I don't get it.
It's the Mason-Dixon line.
You don't hear that?
I don't hear the sun.
I say y'all a lot.
That's kind of a new thing, Pase, you know?
He has a kind of a drawl, like, you know, like, you don't hear it?
No.
It's the Mason-Dixon line, that's why.
Yeah.
So if you...
I hear it.
I always tell people this story. If you were black and you were a slave and you were escaping, you got to Cincinnati and you was free. So think about all the black people that are there. They're like, we made it, and then they just stayed.
I don't hear that. Yeah.
That's the mentality. You cross the river. Yeah. You cross the river. You made it to Cincinnati. You free.
You ain't trying to go nowhere else.
You're trying to go nowhere else. We made it.
Okay, so Cincinnati's a little what? Do you think it's a little more country?
It's southern.
Yeah,
but it's still a metropolis. It was like in the history of it. It was like a big port town because it's on the river. Mm-hmm. So it's a tributary of the Ohio River is like a tributary of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all the steamboats and shit would come through, and it was like a port town. So it was like one of the biggest cities in America till like the late 1800s.
And then Columbus would be like what, like a university
school
town.
It's Ohio State.
Yeah.
And now I think it's the biggest city, but the Cincinnati metropolitan area I think is like 3 million people, because it's also it's on the corner of Indiana too. So it's Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky.
I always thought like Columbus, Ohio, I would just get those gigs for like university and college gigs. Yeah. So it was like it's a college city.
Right. Well, we are a college city too, as University of Cincinnati.
But you guys have sports teams though.
We do. Columbus does not.
The Reds
and the Bengals.
Cincinnati's and the Bengals, and they have a large following.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I mean, the Natty's dope, man. This is a dope town. It's slept on.
He said.
Are the Bengals any good? They haven't been good since
Boomer Esiason. It's been a while, right?
Was it
Ocho Cinco? You fucking outdated that.
Boomer Esiason. They wasn't good then, though. They wasn't good then either.
They had Palmer.
Yo,
and they had
son, I know Boomer Esiason.
So I picture us levels. I feel like we in the red.
Oh yeah.
That's because Cricket loves to hear just. We lower it down later on.
No, it's cool.
It's cool.
No, they had
Ocho Cinco.
Cinco
Production on right
now.
Stop producing our show.
No,
Stop producing
they
our show.
had Chad Johnson. He was good.
But they sucked when they
Palmer.
had Ocho Cinco.
No, they were good.
No.
They're okay. You said trying to hype it up, and he's like, nah.
Shout out to Marvin Lewis, though. He's one of the only black coaches in the NFL for a long time.
Oh, there you go. I just heard it for a long time.
Yeah,
I just heard it now. Come on, man.
So then break down Cleveland. I always want to know Cleveland.
I don't know shit about Cleveland, and I will never talk about Cleveland because I'll end up shitting on Cleveland, and I don't want to shit on Cleveland.
Okay,
but I don't fuck with Cleveland.
How far is
Louisville? Like that.
How far is Louisville from?
It's an hour.
Yeah, and Muhammad Ali's from
Louisville.
Yeah, so
nearly
Cincinnati.
Our town is crazy. There's so many people from there. Fucking L.A. Reid, Babyface from there.
Wow.
Man, so many people from Cincinnati.
You seem shocked, never.
No, I thought there was from. Well, I thought there was from Atlanta. Yeah, exactly.
Nah, they left.
Just went south. Yeah,
yeah, they left. I mean, you have to leave. That's the thing. You gotta.
So everybody leaves.
You're trying to do something. You gotta
Pase Rock
leave.
left. Ross one left.
If you want to move on to bigger and better things, you have to leave.
A lot of people from there, man. Jerry Springer,
Well, no wonder the shit was a
Okay,
killer.
now we can stop now. We can stop. We
Yeah,
go to Jerry
After
Springer.
Jerry, all right, I get it.
But yo, Jerry Springer's like a serious person. Y'all don't know that.
Wasn't he like the mayor? Or?
He was the mayor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he hit all. What was that show about? How do you go from mayor to that?
For the trailer trash fights.
I'll tell you how.
Yeah, break it down.
So his show started local. It started in Cincinnati first.
We probably
it was a serious ass show.
Yeah.
It was like Phil Donahue.
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple of years, they were like, "Yo, if you don't change the shit, we're gonna go off the air." And he was like, "All right, fuck it."
Wow.
So they went in another direction.
He brought in Steve,
and then he went in syndication, and then it became what it became. But he was a serious ass journalist before that. He was he was the nightly news anchor on the news my whole childhood.
What was the shit that he used to do at the end of the show where he just broke it all down?
Yeah, and he had everybody on the stage, and
The last word.
Try to get all serious.
Yeah, the last word.
Yeah.
Or like the.
But he was the mayor of Cincinnati, and he had a scandal. He got caught with a prostitute because he wrote her a check.
Oh, shit, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So that he had already kind of sullied his name, and then he just was like, all right, I'm going to chill with this politics, and I'm going to just be a journalist, because I think he had a journalism degree or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he just went and did the news, and then from that, he got a TV show.
So he fell back after that scandal, and then came back with the show.
Yep.
Wow.
So he had already been embarrassed once, so he was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it was like,
you know,
you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, basically.
I know way too much about Cincinnati right now.
I'm going to tell you everything. I got to ride for the town.
Did you know Ken Griffey Jr. growing up?
No, but I did used to mow Ken Griffey Sr.'s lawn.
You see, this is great. Pace Rock, bro. Everyone's all hype about his production and his DJ, which is great, but this is the great shit.
Yeah.
Damn, man. This motherfucker's bragging about the lawns he's mowed. And
They live down the street from me. Yo, my name drop game is strong. Don't test me.
Wait, so you don't know shit about Cleveland? The only thing I know is what Bone Thugs and Harmony are from there, right?
People,
Yeah,
people always be like, "Yo, you from Cincinnati? What's up with Cleveland?" I'm like, man, I don't know shit about Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Cleveland. Cleveland ain't got nothing to do with us.
Okay, so Dayton.
I know about Dayton.
What's Dayton?
Dayton's popping.
Dayton's what? Poppin'?
Popping. Dave Chappelle lives there. Dave Chappelle rides for Dayton really, really hard. My dad lives.
Is it like upscale up there?
No, he lives in a farm, bro.
Nah. Dayton's the opposite of upscale.
Is it like a Colorado thing, or is it just
It's
like all
hood
natural?
as fuck.
It's hood as fuck.
It's hood as fuck.
That's like you said before. Zap, Roger Zap,
Roger,
the whole family's from there.
My dad lives in between. He lives more closer to Dayton than he does Cincinnati. He lives in between Cincinnati and Dayton.
Dayton sounds like a hood ass city.
It's hood as fuck,
right?
Yeah.
It's hood as fuck, but it's dope. It's like a dope little. Rob Dyrdek's from Dayton.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, Ohio gave us some good shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Give us Pace
sleeping on
Rock
Ohio.
and...
Steven Spielberg's from Cincinnati. He went to my high school.
Damn. Who else? Keep going, bro. We'll give you another 5 drops.
Cincinnati paying you for this?
I mean, Cincinnati's dope, man.
People are starting to start traveling in Cincinnati.
It's a slept-on place for sure. Like you would never go there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever go there for anything.
Sandy
But
Koufax went to...
What's there is fucking tight.
What's the fucking food out there? Is
Chili.
there food? Chili?
Chili.
Spaghetti?
Yeah. It's chili.
Chili spaghetti?
Yeah.
That's fucking nasty, bro.
Nah, it's good. Yeah. He knows up.
What do they do?
They put like melts like
Cheese on it, yeah. Cheese and onions and
Oh
mustard
my
and
God.
shit. It's
Sounds like some Midwest shit.
It's 3 a.m. food. It's 3 a.m. food.
Sandy Koufax went to University of
I
Cincinnati.
don't know, man.
Yeah.
Any city where chili spaghetti is their fucking shit.
That's actually not it. You want to know what's fucked up, and you're going to trip out about this. The famous food is called a Coney Island.
What is it?
It's called a Coney Island.
What is it, though?
So what is
It's
that?
a cheese coney, which is it's a hot dog with chili on top
Yeah.
and cheese and onions and mustard.
That's your
famous
shit? Man,
Yeah.
that's borderline. I don't know, man. Yeah, I got some shit there, but y'all ain't got no food over there.
Nah, we don't. It's like German as fuck. It's like German food and shit.
So you're in Miami now, though.
In Miami.
How long you been in Miami now?
Pushing 7 years, maybe 6 years.
I think the last time I saw you was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Dizza.
With Dizza.
Shout out to Dizza.
Shout out to Dizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all gotta have him on here.
We
definitely.
we trying to make a trip to Miami.
Yeah.
Maybe in November.
That guy's the best.
Yeah, he has
That's
the
my
best
dog.
one. Yes, Dope Party, Peach
Yeah.
Fuzz,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Raul is out there. Shout
Shout out to
Raul.
Raul. Just moved my car for the hurricane
Oh, did he?
yesterday.
yeah.
Shout out to Raul. Thank you. I
Yeah.
love you.
The hurricane is coming
Some
in.
good people's out in Miami. Dizza, Raul,
Yeah.
and shout out to Andrew.
Yep.
Yeah, the Andrew's that skate
Nick.
shop
Yeah.
that
Yep.
Dizza opened.
Mhm.
I buy their tees regularly.
Me too.
I
They sent
support
you the
that
little
shit.
tray.
Yo, they dope.
Yeah, yeah,
They got a really good thing going on.
Mhm.
I'm so proud of them.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad at this shit.
So
And
proud of them.
It's real organic too. It's real authentic.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Very
I watched
smart.
them do it too.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, y'all killing it.
I know. He's doing a lot of work. It's not easy.
Low key, I only wear Andrew.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, that's fucking like 50% of my wardrobe.
That's funny. I have a bunch of shirts I couldn't wear because I've been trying to lose weight. So now that I lost some weight, I can wear them now.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me. I just lost 40 pounds. Same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look fit today.
I lost 40 pounds. Straight
Well,
up.
how'd you lose that shit?
Diet and exercise.
Diet and exercise?
I moved to the beach. That's what happened.
You were running on the beach?
I run on the beach. I moved to the beach, and then when you move to the beach, you realize you gotta have your shirt off a lot, and it's like, yeah, what the fuck am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
Gotta
was
get
telling
fit
him
out
that,
here.
pause, but his tan looks great.
Hey, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, I was at the pause. I get the
Moving
pause.
on.
Hey man,
Put that. Yeah, man.
it's 2019, man. You gotta,
Exactly, man. Yeah.
So you're in Miami. I know you DJ around there.
Mhm.
And then during this whole time, have you been like DJing off and on or like? what
Nah,
were-
no. I've been DJing on and on and on and on since 2001, probably.
So you were spending in New York?
Cincinnati, New York, LA. I went from Cincinnati to Boston, Atlanta. I was in Atlanta first, actually. Atlanta, Boston, New York,
Mm-hmm.
then LA, and now Miami.
Miami's like, I feel like I'm really feeling the direction that all the music's going in Miami right now.
Like the local artists and local shit.
Just the fact that like it's very like all the Caribbean sounds and all the African sounds are like put together in one city.
Yep.
And it's one of the few cities where you could do Afro beats for 20 minutes. You could do reggae for like 20. You could do reggaeton.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because there's no white people.
It's true. They're all in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale.
It's like one of my favorite cities when I go there. It's
Yeah.
like you play
a lot of Latin.
You play a lot of Latin. You can play a lot of Caribbean. You can
Man,
play Afrobeats.
I play like
you know?
50% reggaeton every night.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's tight.
To me, reggaeton is like, I've said it before, man. It's like it just has all the melodies that I wish R&B had right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just those
Do you get confused?
memorable joints.
Do you get confused for being Dominican? Or
All the time. Nobody knows what I am.
What are you?
And y'all don't know what I am because you can't see me because I got a mask on.
yeah, he looks Dominican. He looks Dominican, probably Puerto Rican a little bit, but more so Dominican.
But what is your background?
I'm just basic ass black.
Nice.
When I first saw a picture of him, I thought he was Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. My dad did my DNA relatively recently, probably in the last 6 months or so. And he found out my great-grandfather on my mother's side immigrated to, I think, St. Thomas from India. So I am Indian, actually.
See? I got you. Patrick Johnson?
Yeah.
Patrick Johnson sounds like a real dude, too, from Cincinnati.
Patrick Vaughn Johnson.
See?
So when you're in Miami, right? And I'm sure what spots are you DJing at?
Basement, live a little bit, not as much lately, but just Soul House. I DJ in Wynwood a lot because Wynwood's kind of like where all the action is right now.
Wynwood is like the downtown area?
It's not downtown. It's a little bit north of downtown, but it's the Arts District.
Yeah, the Arts District.
It's where all the young people go party on the weekend.
There's been all types of development going on there. They built that new museum kind of, right?
Yep. There's all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there. It's like right next to the Design District too, so it's just...
It's been the more poppin' area.
It's more poppin'.
Yeah,
The beach is like not that poppin', so Wynwood's kind of like...
Well, people want to get away from like the South Beach. South Beach is kind of like the Las Vegas Strip. Like people want to get away from it.
Tourists go
There's
there.
there's still a few clubs, but it's not like it
It's
was
only
like
live
10 years
live
ago.
in basement. Maybe
Nah,
basement's even on the other side actually.
That's
right?
like mid beach, but South Beach there's like Studio 23, Wall, Rockwell,
Wall. Yeah.
but like Cameo's still open.
Is it?
Cameo still open?
I think so.
Damn, they still have a run?
On a urban tip.
Okay.
What happened? Mansion got closed?
Mansion's closed. Yeah, that's where I live though. I live right down there.
Okay, cool. Right by the Jerry Deli.
So then, how do you spend your time with production? Because I know you do a lot of production.
A
lot of production.
all day,
right?
every day.
All day, every day.
Oh, that's all I do.
Because I remember when I was making beats and I was producing, it was hard for me to DJ and do both.
Oh, it's not hard for me.
It's not?
I DJ probably 2-3 days a week. So
That's pretty active.
It's not crazy.
It was so hard for me because the frame of mind that I had when I was making beats, is that when I was making music, I wanted to be really original and different.
I don't give a shit about that.
You don't?
No.
And then when I was DJing, I felt like I was doing the opposite. I was really feeding into like the crowd, and then I started hating. If I was too focused on production, I started hating. I hated the DJ because it took me to a different mind state of people pleasing. And then when I wanted to make beats, it's like I felt like I was trying. Like, what am I making? I'm not making beats for myself now. I'm trying to do like
you still doing.
I'm trying to do DJ. I'm trying to make something for the club now, and it just like it didn't mix, and I ended up just not doing it because I would get really frustrated. I started to hate the crowds that I was DJing for.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that's kind of the worst when you resent the crowd.
That's the worst situation any DJ can be in when they're
like,
not eye to eye with
people.
the crowd. Yeah.
I don't. That's kind of why I prefer not to leave Miami, because I'm always with the crowd every single time. Like every single time.
Patience, is there any type of music these days that inspire you, or what is it? Production.
Everything, man. Honestly, I try to take. I've been listening to a lot of like fucking like records from the 20s.
Okay.
Like classics.
1920s?
Yeah, like just like.
But
I'm really into jazz, so like.
I mean, a lot of your beats. It's very jazz influence.
Yeah, I'm really into jazz.
But does anything from the current time now, does that inspire you to make you?
Yeah, I love the new production techniques and the way that the new music sounds. I think it's amazing. And
like who? Like what?
Yeah,
man, like for anybody. I mean, pick them. Like fucking.
Does Mustard inspire you?
Yeah, Mustard, the Diplos, the fucking Southsides, TM88, Frank Dukes, fucking Louis Bell. Like anything that's on the top 20 of the Billboard charts I'm like, yo, this is dope.
Have you noticed in production recently, it sounds like they're trying to break away from the 4 meter thing. Does that make sense?
I see what you're trying to say. Yeah,
I mean, as a DJ, it can get frustrating because
I definitely try to do that. It's like if 4 bars go by and nothing changes, I'm bored. So
I'm saying for example, there's like a couple Tiger records that just were chaotic.
Right.
You didn't know how long the choruses were. Like, cause
which ones?
What was
Swish?
it?
I feel like Tiger's records are pretty.
No, the Swish was
a little weird.
I don't think I really played Swish that much.
There's even some Drake records that are like.
Drake records are weird.
And My Feelings. And My Feelings is a weird record.
Is it?
It was sound. Yeah.
It still follows a 4 meter. What is it? 4 meter, right? Yeah.
4 bars.
4 bar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of switching, and then the sound, like they didn't master.
It was just short.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the production. We're talking about like all of a sudden
the beginning of the record, like how it starts off.
Like a beat will start into 4 bars, and usually he'll start rapping. Then it'll go for like another 2 bars, and he'll just come out of nowhere and rap, and then he'll cut off his verse 1 bar, and the chorus will start. Right? And I'm wondering if it's like if they're trying to get some type of spontaneous reaction or catch you off guard, or I don't know if it was like a trend to produce like that or make these songs like this. Do you know what I mean?
There's a couple on that record. There's a few different producers, I think. So I think they're probably passing it back and forth.
Yeah.
And just doing each other's changes, maybe. And then maybe the engineer had a hand in it.
But I was also wondering if these producers just stop. I didn't understand it because I kind of missed, and that's why I kind of like reggaeton, because it really does follow. Right. The 4 bars.
The pattern.
Yeah.
And it layers a lot of the music.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Latin producers are really kind of more musically on point. I feel like a lot of them probably grew up playing guitar or some shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a different approach to a lot of like American guys. Like the rap guys, a lot of the American rap guys probably didn't grow up playing instruments. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like the Latin dudes, they probably grew up playing piano or guitar or something.
You can hear it, right?
I can kind of hear it a little bit, or if you hear it, you're like, and then you hear later, like, oh, that dude's a piano player. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so you're good at. I mean, obviously you're good, you're better than I am, but you're good at juggling the DJing and producing and stuff like that.
I wish, maybe, I don't know. I have no idea.
So like,
I always feel like I'm lost.
Really?
Always. Yeah.
So like a lot of the stuff that we were talking about this earlier, that you're constantly working, you're reworking songs and you're producing stuff, and you're on Roc Nation. You're working with bigger artists. You don't have to tell who you're working with, but I can imagine who you're working with.
Right.
And then you were kind of explaining that, like you'll sell like a few beats to like a big artist, and they'll never release it. They'll just.
I don't know if they'll never release it. I only been with Roc like a year, so.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done is just yet to be released. That doesn't mean it's not going to be released. It just means it hasn't been released yet. So,
but like a big artist like who's some like let's just put out Jay-Z, right? Like Jay-Z is out there, and we know like Rihanna's working on an album. I mean, there was a rumor that Rihanna has like 160 songs.
So yeah.
Something crazy, right?
I mean, she I don't think she has that. I mean, I have no idea, but she definitely. I know she buys a lot of records.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z too. A lot of them, Meek, like all of the big like top tier artists, they buy a lot of records, and a lot of times they just buy records so other people can have them. A lot of times. I mean, I think that in my brain it makes sense that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're that level, your shit has to be top notch at all times. So you're gonna just play the quantity game, and then. Outkast used to do it back in the day too. You make 100 records and you pick the best 10 ones, and you got a really banging ass record. That's why those albums are so good.
Right.
Because they worked hard as fuck on them, and there's probably like 90 songs that we haven't heard. So it's the same thing with a Beyonce or a Jay-Z or Rihanna or any top artist that you can think of. They probably have hundreds of records.
Because they could hear the potential in the record, or they could hear the potential in the beat, and they could be like, "This is dope. I can't come up with nothing right now, but I don't want no one else to have it."
Right. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, ain't nobody else gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, shit. If honestly, I do this shit too. I make beats sometimes where I'm like, I ain't giving this to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping this shit for myself.
What does that mean for yourself? What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm going to keep it to do on a project that I want to put it on. I'm going to save it for the right artist.
How many of those do you save?
A lot. Do you have a problem that you save
a lot?
9 out of 10?
I mean, I work in folders now. So it's like I put shit in a folder. And then it's like I'll put shit in a folder that I really don't want nobody to buy. But just in case. The right person, the right person comes along. You want to throw it to them. Yeah. So like, say, like I might make something with somebody specifically in mind, and then put it in a folder. Like I'll have like a 2019 beats folder. You know what I'm saying? That I'll send out to shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I hope fucking A Boogie with the hoodie don't pick this record because I'm saving it first.
Right.
So you know what I mean? But shit, if they got the bag, then
they can
have it. But it might be like, damn, I really wish that was a Meek record. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like that.
So when motherfuckers buy your beats, are you part of the process of making the song at all after that?
I hope so.
But an artist can just get it mastered and you won't even hear it till it releases?
That's happening right now.
Wow.
Damn.
That's happening right now. That's actually happening right now.
Is that scary?
It's like a roulette.
Depends on the artist.
Do you still get credit for the record?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He just doesn't know what's going to come out.
But what gives them the right to just do whatever the fuck they want? And
if they bought it.
But you still get publishing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird process, isn't it?
It's like, it's like playing roulette.
My shit says like, yo, this shit's produced by me. Like when you sign a contract to buy the shit, it's like, this shit's produced by me. I don't give a fuck if Kanye comes in and says, I don't like that clap. This shit's produced by me. Because that shit happens.
Talk about a Pase.
So they rearrange the tracks. They change maybe some of the
the drum
samples.
They might not do shit. They might just be in a room when it's getting mixed.
And then they'll add their name on it.
Yeah, because they got leverage. That happens all the time.
I have a quick question. While being in Miami, do you collaborate with other?
Not Kanye specifically. I'm just using him as an example. Yeah.
No, we got it.
No, I know.
While being in Miami, do you collaborate?
I can't believe Kanye did that to me.
Oh, my God.
Right, damn.
Fuck Kanye.
Fuck Kanye, man.
I'm 100% sure.
Hashtag Pase Rock.
100% sure he's done it to somebody else, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
While being in Miami, do you work with any the producers down there, like Vinyls and stuff like that?
I don't know him, but I'm working with some producers in Miami for sure.
Okay, cool.
Miami's deep. Miami got a lot of talent. Yo, y'all know about R.O.A.D Banks?
No,
I've heard of him. Yeah.
You know about R.O.A.D Banks?
Peter knows.
Yo, man.
Peter knows about the food and R.O.A.D Banks.
Yo, R.O.A.D Banks is fire.
Denzel Curry.
Yeah, Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry, I've heard of him.
Yeah. Denzel. Yo, Miami's like Low key, like South Florida is like the hot spot. Everybody trying to sign rappers from South Florida right now.
Well,
I mean, a lot of the new artists came from there.
Lil Pump, X.
X is like the biggest shit in South Florida.
Is it what's his name?
Lil Pump.
Not Slum God, the other dude.
I know you're talking about.
Smoke Perp.
Smoke Perp. Yeah.
Smoke Perp.
He's from
all
there
of them.
too.
Yeah, all of them.
Trippie Redd. No, Trippie
Redd's from Ohio.
Look at that. Another name drop. If you guys are playing the Road Podcast bingo at this point, you might have won.
So, I mean, with all this the production that you're doing and like motherfuckers buying beats and everything, in the next year or so, do you hope to have some of these released or what is it?
God, I hope so, man.
Yeah.
How many are we looking at that they're like right there, like ready to?
How many?
Yeah, how many beats or how many songs you ready?
Probably like, not that many. Probably like 4 or 5. But like 4 or 5 good ones. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You have a good feeling about them?
I got a good feeling about probably 2.
Okay.
The other ones, I'm just like.
And do you have control of the final cut?
No,
or no?
I don't know.
No.
I haven't been there yet.
That's so
I haven't crossed that
crazy.
finish line.
Bro,
yet.
I'm telling you, it's like a roulette.
That's so
Like
nuts.
he's playing roulette and then see whatever if it clicks or not.
I just think it's crazy that like, you know, you could be working with an artist and you're not even working with them. You give them a beat and then, you know, like just to be in that room.
I mean, there's been situations where it's like both, where it's like,
Because don't
you're not in the room with the artist at all. You'll never meet them. No, nothing.
But don't you feel like if you were in a room, you could just produce the song a little bit better? You can help write the song a little bit better, and like.
Yep.
And
I've learned a lot about myself as a writer in these past like 3-6 months. Like I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about my limitations. I've learned a lot about my strengths.
Yeah.
Just from being just from being in the rooms with certain people and the right people. That like, I mean, I've been doing this for a minute, like songwriting, producing, and I've been lucky to work with like a lot of great, talented people, like really strong talent.
Because you can be in a room with a really great songwriter, and they can just fix anything pretty much, right?
For sure. I got my go-tos to fix shit.
That's so crazy.
Because I'll write a lot of shit and it like ain't quite there, and I'll just like, yo, can you come fix this? Like I feel like the idea is good, but like the melody ain't that good, or like these 3 lines ain't that good. Can you come in? And they'll come in and just be like, what you need to do is this, and then you know they just get it. I was working with this dude. Shout out to Fast Life. I'm trying to work with this dude, Fast Life, and I ain't never seen nobody work like this dude.
Really?
I was in the studio with him the other day. Shout out to Fast Life, and I've been trying to get with him all week because he lives in Atlanta and he was in Miami just for the week, and I was trying to get him all week. I was sending him beats. He was like, yo, I like this one. I like this one. He's like, I'm gonna knock this out tomorrow. And I'm like, cool. And we was in one day and we didn't get to it. And I was like, yo, I'm going to come in early tomorrow. We're going to knock this out. So I was like, I'm going to come in at 10. And I hit him at like 9:30, like, yo, I'm going to come through. And he didn't text me back. So I was like, fuck. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just go up there. So I ended up getting there around 11. I walk in and wasn't nobody at the studio except him. He had done like 2 songs already.
Wow.
And then I was in there all day. I ended up having another session with some other people in the B room. That motherfucker knocked out like 7 songs in a day.
Damn.
And they was all fire.
Wow.
They were all banging. Like radio hits. Like
it's
you know what I'm saying?
It's weird when you meet like a songwriter because writing a song is like incredibly hard, right?
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
A good songwriter approaches it almost like a broken sink and like a plumber going.
I think some people just have their formulas.
That's what I'm saying, but it's like these writers are so talented.
Yeah.
Like we see it as like this really like this creative process that's like insane. Like we have to go to a deep place. They're so good at writing that they approach it like, oh yeah, you know the faucet is there's something wrong in the faucet. You just need to change this out and put that in.
All of a sudden he became from like the UK.
No, I'm just saying. No, but I'm saying.
No, I feel you. But
know,
that's how it happens. They just hear the beat and they're like, nah, go to the next one. Nah, go to the next one. Oh yeah, and then they just start vibing out, and then it's just like, all right.
And then just
I know how this goes.
Yeah,
like I know how this is supposed to go. Yeah. And then it's just like I just watched them work, and I'm like, man, this is amazing. Like, and just being in the rooms with those people, is great, and it's informed me so much. I learned so much just from watching these people work.
So you, with your songwriting background, with your rap, with your kind of history with rapping and stuff like that, when you're making a beat, everything starts with the beat, right?
Nah, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it starts. So what I wanted to ask you was that are you writing the melodies and the lyrics for songs and then building the beat around it? Are there sometimes just beats alone, or there's sometimes melodies alone?
It's never the same. Like I had an idea for a song. I usually get my ideas for songs like in either when I'm sleeping and dreaming, or I'm in the shower, or I'm driving. Like those 3 places. That's it. Occasionally, randomly, just during the day, or like having a conversation with somebody, like, oh, that's a good idea for a song. Let me write that down.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, it's sleeping, shower, or driving. And I woke up the other day and I was like, yo, I got to do this song. And I had the idea for it. And I was like, this is a fucking song. And I went to like lay down the melody, because luckily the studio's in my house. So I just went to lay it down. I was like, I'm going to do the beat first. But I did the beat with the song already in my head. So I just laid like a little skeleton beat down so I could lay the melody down.
Right.
And then I laid the melody down and I did the music on top of the vocal part. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I basically did the drums as a metronome, just so I had a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then once I had the drums down, I did the vocal part, and then I built the music around the vocal.
And then usually like you'll sing that shit or you'll hum it.
Yeah, auto-tune.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you don't, because I was gonna ask if you hire like.
Nah, just so it don't sound like shit. And then sometimes, and if it's these are just demos though. So if it's really good, then I'll get a singer to come
do like a
it.
reference track,
Yeah.
so that if you give it to like I don't know, like
but
a
most
big
of the
artist, right?
most of the time, the singers that I hire are also writers. So it's not even just a reference track. It's like, come and help me fix this.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
It's like I'm not so, and sometimes like I won't finish the lyrics, so it'll just be like a vocal part. It's like,
So-
can you help me finish that?
I don't know how you can DJ and do all of this. It seems like
Because DJing is kind of the back burner.
interesting.
It's kind of taking a back seat a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's taking a little bit of a backseat, but I just think the frame of mind is so different. Isn't it like I don't know.
It has nothing to do with it, but it helps. It informs you. For what I'm doing, it informs me making the music. Because at the end of the day,
You're
I'm
seeing
making
what's
club
working.
records. I'm making club
I
records.
got it.
You
So
know?
you're seeing what's working,
For sure.
what the vibes
Give you
are.
ideas
Yeah.
when you get in the
Yep.
studio, you get an idea of what the crowd would like.
I already know. Or it's like, I need more records like this, so let me make 5 of these.
Right.
You know?
I think it's funny that like around last year we were like, yo, there needs to be more 100 BPM songs.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, this like in the past
I made
year,
I made 3 of them last week.
Mustard gave you a whole album, bro.
and then
Yeah.
now there's nothing but 100 BPM songs. Yeah.
There needs to be more 80s, like 80.
80s popping
85,
right now. Yeah.
80s popping.
Everything in 80s sounds really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
From what do you call Plain Jane,
Plain Jane.
No Limit,
No
Yep.
Limit.
even that Meg The Stallion
Mob
joint,
Ties.
Mob Ties,
Yeah.
Nonstop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Even that Meg The Stallion joint with Juicy J, that just hits hard.
Yeah.
Back it up,
Yeah.
Cardi B and
Yep.
And
Gotta
then
be
you still
backed
have
up.
like a bunch of the classics that are in that.
OT
little
Genesis, Everybody Mad.
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That joint. You're talking about like snap music.
run. Like the
Yeah.
Young Jock started from the bottom.
Snap
Yeah.
music is like the high 70s, like 70 to 70.
70,
It's like
78,
70s, yeah.
77,
Wherever
78,
Buy you a
Laffy
drink.
Taffy's at, that's the
That's
Yeah,
78.
78, yeah,
Yeah,
around
78.
78.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking sad that we know that.
I know, right?
It's like you can do a whole set just
Yeah.
knowing that fucking BPM.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way America is approaching hip hop music and everything right
What
now?
you mean?
I just feel like the way America approaches hip hop is very disposable.
Sure.
A lot of
It's microwave. It's microwave.
yeah.
music. Yeah.
Are you seeing a trend with younger artists and them not, like
Man, it's funny. I just had this conversation earlier today.
really?
Yeah, there's this young artist. I'm not working with her, but I want to work with her. And she's so dope, man. She's so dope. And she's too talented to be making the kind of music she's making. I'm not gonna say her name or nothing like that.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you tell us off air, please?
Yeah.
I really want to know now.
Yeah.
I'm
She-
thinking of names. I'm just like,
Yeah, she's too. I don't think you would know her. She's like new, but she's too talented to be making the kind of music she's making. And my mind frame, cause I'm in the position, it's like, man, I need to make this girl a hit record. You know what I mean? But I don't have any hit records yet, so I'm like, how do I make? My mind frame is like, I need to make this girl a hit record, and she's gonna be my first hit record. You know what I'm saying?
Is a dream of like, I would say that is a dream of a producer to work with one really great artist and develop them and do a whole album. Is that something you would want to do, or you think it would
At
be
some
like
point I would. Yeah.
it would be boring?
It's like a Timberland kind of.
Nah, it just depends on the artist too. Depends on if you like working with them, if you got the right chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
When was the last time we saw artists like that worked with the producer for one album?
Drake and Noah.
Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to say Timberland.
Like I would say the Jay-Z 444. He worked in
No ID.
No
That's
ID.
right.
That was it,
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
I feel like that's the way to go. You
I
really,
was
not
thinking
mad
of-
at that.
huh?
I'm not mad at that. But then you got the producer records too, like where they just work with the artists that they want to work with.
I wouldn't even say Drake that much because Drake works with a lot of motherfuckers.
different-
No, I was thinking.
Yeah, he does. But 40's got his he's got his hand. He's executive producer.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you guys meant like found an artist and kind of built off of it.
You mean like some Guru Premier shit
Oh, well, I mean, I guess
to where the sound is just complete.
I mean, Mustard
Exactly.
did it with what song?
LA.
LMA.
LMA, exactly.
Yeah.
because I think the problem is this: is that when you have a rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think nowadays, and there's no A&R, right?
Yeah.
So the rapper is envisioning the album,
Mm-hmm.
and they're seeing it from a rapper's point of view, and
For
not
sure.
a producer's musical point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we have a bunch of albums that
Or hit or miss. It's
They
also
did-
the streaming world.
I don't
too,
think
that-
they touch
What
like they
album-
don't touch us like a musician, like a producer. If they were a producer was putting the album together,
Mhm.
they wouldn't know like the moods and the sounds that
It's like they
a
got like,
motherfucker won't want to hear.
they got like 20 tracks with like 15 producers on the album.
Because you
It's
gotta
like
admit,
all
from a
over.
rapper point of view, you want the music to be dope, but you want to come off. You want your lyrics to sound. You want your lyrics to be dope. You want like in hooks is like. It's not even about a catchy hook. Sometimes it's just about like, yo, I snapped on that verse. Like this verse was crazy.
Mhm.
But the producer is really looking at everything like, yo, this we're missing this song. This sounds redundant.
Right.
We need to change this up. And I feel like that's what's missing. Like
Like
when-
a Gangstar, like a Premier and Guru.
Yeah.
but like when you're working with one producer, they're kind of like, I think they're setting the pace.
Yeah.
I think they're setting.
Pun intended.
Yeah, there you go. I think they're like building the tracks on the railroad,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the rapper or whatever, the artist is the train. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're moving their music and the crowd and everything along on those tracks. But I think you need the producer. That's why I think most of the greatest albums that we've heard in hip hop are when there's like one producer and one group just working together on that one joint.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I was wondering, from your point of view,
Mhm.
is that like a dream? Is that something that would be like, yo, that's the ultimate thing, to create an album and develop the artist? You know,
I'm not there right now, but I feel like I could probably get there. I
Yeah.
probably will be there in a few years.
mm-hmm.
But I think it's just about meeting that person and really wanting to. Because I work with a lot of people where it was like, yo, where you just click and it's just like, yo, me and this person, I don't know if it's like spiritual or whatever, it's like me and this person just click and we get it. I know what they're missing. I'm the person that's going to provide that missing link to make them, take them to where they need to go.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before a lot in my life. And I'd like to do that. I like to produce an artist like that. But right now, that's just not where my head's at. But it's a different game too. I think with the streaming shit, like the album is just like it's a dated concept, a little bit.
I think so too. It's so funny because there's so many albums dropping.
Mm-hmm.
It really, I don't know, like I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like
But it's like it's also who gives a shit. Like you don't want to go out and you're not going out to buy the shit. You're not excited. Like yo, somebody's dropping this album and you like I'm gonna go to fucking Tower Records and buy this shit. Like that whole
Those days are over with.
that shit's
doesn't
over. Like
exist.
it's on your phone and you're just like, oh, they just dropped a new album. Cool. You gonna listen to the whole shit? No.
I do.
You do?
I still will listen to albums, bro.
I don't.
Top to bottom.
how
Pause.
do y'all listen to albums?
I don't listen to albums.
From track
You don't?
one to track
Unless
whatever.
it's on vinyl, and I'm
Really?
playing it, and I put it on and I turn it over.
So the streaming process ruins the experience for you?
Maybe not. I just my listening habits are like they're just tuned that way. I don't listen to music that much.
Whatever he plays at the club, that's all you
Yeah,
listen to.
for the most part.
Yeah. So like if it hasn't blown up to get your attention, it's
Mhm.
not worth listening to almost, or it's not worth
Basically.
acknowledging. Right?
If I ain't got to play it in the club, I don't bother because I'm so busy making music,
yeah.
and like either part of it is like not want to be influenced by other people. I mean, when I started rapping seriously, I stopped listening to rap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to I don't want to come out sounding like KRS-One. You know what
That's
I mean?
what
Because I listen to a lot of KRS-One. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're making art, it needs to come from your voice.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're really tuning your voice, you at some point you need to tune out other voices because you're gonna soak that shit in and it's gonna affect you. And that might be a good thing, but just for me, it's just like my creation process is just like in theory, I'd like not to be affected by outside shit.
So what do you drive to? Like, what do you cook? What do you clean to?
Like the kind of music that I wouldn't make.
Okay.
You know, or stuff that I aspire to make that I know I'm probably gonna never reach that virtuosic level of whatever the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just be like, give me something to aim for. You know what I mean?
How do you guys listen to music nowadays?
When I take a shower.
Yeah.
It depends what
I
time.
listen to an album.
Yeah,
when I'm in the
shower.
bathroom. Yeah.
If it comes out at 9 o'clock at night, usually it's like a 40 to 60 minute type of thing. So you have an hour spare, like a Drake album or whatever. I'll do that. But if it's like a, was it Snow? I forget it.
Snow Allegra, yeah.
Like that, I drove to.
Yo,
She's great.
I met her recently, and I feel bad. I'm gonna shout out Snow Allegra because I met her and I was like, "Yo, what do you do?" I think I was drunk and I was trying to crack a joke and it just came out really bad. Because I was at a party with like a bunch of music people, and I was like, "Let me guess, you make music."
Whoa!
I didn't know what she was. I was like, "Let me guess, you're a fucking singer or some shit like that." And they were like, "Yo, you don't know Snow?" And I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Nice to meet you," whatever. But she just looking at me like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
Fucking Indian guy.
Yeah, but anyway, shout out to her.
My album just dropped and is the hottest shit in the street.
It was like before that. But anyway,
okay.
shout out to Snow Allegra. I just come off bad sometimes. My bad. You're really tight. You're really talented.
Yeah, like that. Like I drove to that. So it's different.
That's a wasted apology. She's never watching this.
I know.
She might.
Don't even worry about
She
that.
might.
You don't know.
You never know.
Pace it.
But it was one of those situations where you're like, damn, I'm an asshole. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a lot of those situations. that happens to me a lot.
Yeah. I know. At least you know it though. You know what I'm saying?
I was wondering how y'all listen to music because, like, you know, when I listen to music, I skim through it,
Right.
and I'll see, and I'll be like, look, I say, all right, I try to hear if I hear anything that catches me.
You
And
listen to the club. You listen for the club.
I don't even listen for the club. I listen for something that's like outstanding or like that I want to listen to. And here's the thing: if I really like a song, I will listen to that song for hours.
I do
So
that too.
Yeah.
So if
just
I,
on repeat.
On repeat. So one of the last songs that I had on repeat would have been the Bad Bunny and Drake MIA.
Yo, that record is so tight.
So when that was popping or when that came out, I was literally like, I would fly to, you know, I don't know, LA or whatever, Miami.
That record grew on me. I was like, when it first came out, I was like, this fucking Drake's. If you singing Spanish now, dog, come on. But I didn't take it seriously. And then one day, I think I played it. I was like, let me play this Bad Bunny Drake record in the club. And the way the girls came alive, I was like, yo, I had this shit all wrong, bro.
It's a banger.
I had this shit all wrong. And that was like my favorite record to play.
Yeah.
The last song I got stuck on was "Let's Be Honest" by Georgia Smith. That's a great record. I don't know if you guys heard it.
I'm trying to think.
I work with her recently.
Georgia Smith, really?
Name drop.
No, another one. Not Ohio.
She's in, where's she, in the UK?
Yeah, she's in London.
How hard is it to, different time zone? It's not that bad, I guess, from
email,
Miami, right?
It's called the
No, I was actually in the studio with her.
Oh my God, I envy you.
Was she in Miami or you were in UK?
We were in LA.
Oh, wow. So you're in Miami right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna possibly move to LA because everything's popping
Probably.
in
I'm
LA.
gonna probably move to LA.
Of course, Ross lives in LA.
If I can pull it off, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it, but if I can pull it off where I can do both, I'll do that.
Yeah,
But
tough, man.
Like Miami's become your new Cincinnati.
yeah, well,
Get out the pond, Pace.
You gotta get out of there.
nah,
Man,
really,
you gotta
man.
get out of Miami.
It's so good, man.
Yeah,
It's so good.
telling
that's what you said when you were in Cincinnati.
That's
Probably.
true. That's true. Yo, it's so good though.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But
to me.
all the artists are here. All the people are here, right?
That's true.
All the
And
opportunities
LA.
are here.
That's
I
true.
mean, in LA.
yeah, for sure.
And then the Roc Nation offices is in
In
LA.
LA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny, as is always in LA, you know.
Gotta make the move, man.
Got to.
If you need a roommate, let me know, man.
Yeah, he's on the fence too, Pase.
Possible. I might.
Vegas has become my Cincinnati.
Yeah, we gotta get the pond. We gotta get Cricket up the pond.
Except I'm not big time here. I'm just like a regular dude.
Yeah,
out
he's
here,
like-
but I'm just, you know,
I wasn't big time. I'm not big time in Miami at all.
I mean, I didn't start no Scribble Jam in fucking Las
in
Vegas.
Vegas, maybe you need to.
I don't know.
You got the clothing line. though.
We started new.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the podcast.
yeah. So what you talking about?
Things are not Scribble Jam.
No, we're not there yet.
We
We're
didn't
the first DJ podcast. If
We
you
didn't
really
bring
wanna get into it.
25,000 people to a
I know,
fucking
right?
city. You know what I mean?
But we think we got more than 25,000 plays. I'm just saying.
We'll see. What's up?
Not on this one though.
By the way,
With all the name dropping he did,
I know, right?
I was doing that for y'all. I was doing that for y'all.
He mowed fucking King
I was like,
Griffey's.
let me drop the names for you.
I know, right?
See, and put that shit in the description.
Alright, put some spicy ass shit.
Yeah.
We could like just list all these
tag all them
acts.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put hashtag Georgia Smith.
I was having a conversation with my boy actually back home, and I was talking about name droppers, and he was like, "You do that shit all the time." I was like, "Do I?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Fuck it."
You gotta put motherfuckers in check sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a time when I was I'm wondering if I should blow up Moma's spot. Moma was like blowing up.
Yeah.
He was like working with Questlove.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And
It happens, man. It
Remember,
happens.
you were there
I
for
was
the
there.
dinner.
Yeah, we was having dinner one night, and he was just like name dropping all these artists. It was like,
And we just told him like, "Yo, can you shut the fuck up?"
Poor Moma, the nicest fucking guy in the world.
No, but we were just like, "Oh, here we go."
Here he goes, this
Oh
guy.
yeah, you met Michael Rappaport. Oh yeah, you met this guy. Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh.
you know, Prince was at this spot we was eating at.
It's just like, yo, we're just like, and yo, he literally had a moment of like, I don't know, like
Relaxation?
self reflection. He was just like, wow, I'm like becoming that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
and he
yeah.
just he never did that again.
Hey man, I tell you like this. I'm from fucking Cincinnati. I ain't never thought I'd be in this situation. I'm name dropping
Yeah.
every fucking body.
Taking advantage of it. Fuck it. Right?
From mowing King
Like,
Griffey Jr.'s
Yo,
lawn,
dog, I'm dropping every motherfucking name I can.
Oh, shit, man.
signing to
Cause
Jay-Z.
you don't understand, like, man, we ain't see shit. We ain't get to see
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Like that shit was not real for me at all.
He just saw everything on TV. Or heard
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
all on TV. Like I was like, yo, I saw that motherfucker on Rap City. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I got crazy stories. Like I could name drop the fuck out of a whole bunch of shit. I got crazy stories.
I literally
Imagine, man.
I literally think that's why Ross One is such a collector.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in New York, right? We grew up. I mean, we grew up in New York. All those fucking bootleg ghetto ass T-shirts of like Biggie and Tupac and all that shit. They would sell that on the street in
So
Harlem.
get on
Yeah.
125th Street.
And I would
Right.
look at that shit and I'd be like, "Yo, what am I, a
That's-
tourist?
yeah,
I'm
what-
not gonna
yeah,
wear
nobody,
that shit."
nobody buying
Yeah.
this shit.
Now it's worth like
It was- and
$1,000.
they were always selling it to the motherfuckers going over the bridge, right?
Right.
Right before the Triborough Bridge.
Well, no, man, I actually had it on Lenox Avenue also,
Yeah.
like on 125th by the Apollo Theater.
But they were definitely trying to
That
get a
whole
lot of motherfuckers like right over the bridge. When the Triborough, you would come through, there would be the guy with the T-shirts on his arms trying to sell like Fabulous and shit, like all these ghetto ass tees.
Damn.
And then at the time, I was just like, I would never wear that shit.
He just looked at it. He was like,
Yeah,
nobody buying this
but
shit.
for them, you know, and then fast forward to 2015, 16, and then Ross is like collecting this. I'm like, yo, you never grew up around this shit. You didn't know any. So like to this is like memorabilia to you, you know?
It's not really true though.
No?
Cincinnati's hood as fuck.
Y'all had that shit
We
then.
had that shit for sure.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't as tangible as New York or
Yeah, it
LA.
was. Yeah, it was.
I feel like
It
Yeah,
was.
for sure.
Oh,
So
okay.
then he's just a psycho hoarder dude that likes
Yeah,
to collect shit.
for sure.
Okay, don't call him psycho. Don't care. He's a collector. Respect Ross, please.
Also, his studio is in his house. I don't know. I think he's like, yo, he was like, yo, I'm not home. Just, go in there, set up shop, whatever. I'm like, cool. I go in the closet. Just like, I was looking for like a cable or something. And I went in his closet because I thought a cable would be in there. And I
Yeah.
was just like, what the fuck does this dude have in his fucking closet? Dog, he got crazy shit.
Crazy.
He has crazy shit in his closet.
You mean like a lot of tees or other shit?
Like other
Sneakers,
shit. Like,
Was it the posters that he was?
man, I don't want to blow up his spot, like what he has and what he has. But
I mean, you brought this shit up.
know,
Like,
I know. But he has like shit from like videos that you're like, that's the shit from the fucking blah 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 video.
oh wow.
Like the shit that nobody has. You know what I mean?
Just any any little thing that was in a
Like he has.
he has hip hop history in his closet. Is my point.
Oh wow,
That's
You know
dope.
what I mean?
Respect to
Like
Roc.
he has like black spades, fucking jerseys.
I want to
and
know where the
shit,
fuck
you
that
know?
came from.
man. Damn.
You know what I mean? Legit, he has black spades, like gang.
The gang, yeah.
the gang jackets,
Oh wow.
multiple.
Yeah,
That's
he has that
respect.
shit. Yeah.
He has all that shit.
He has that shit.
He has the
I see it.
Where
Astros
did he get
jersey.
that from?
Outcast born.
He just
I
hunts,
seen
guess.
that shit too. Yeah, he has
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
He has
Where did
that
you get
shit.
that from? Bambaataa?
Right.
Cricket is dying, man.
He has like Jay-Z's Rockefeller jacket.
Yeah, he got that.
He got the chain.
Probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has a lot of
It's-
LL Cool J shit too.
Yeah, Troop.
Yeah.
LL Cool
The
J
Troop jackets?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
the
a lot
I'm
of
Bad video.
OG shit, yo.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
he has crazy
Shout out
shit.
to Ross one.
Yeah.
Man.
My $1 million idea is to open a hip hop version of the Hard Rock Cafe with Ross's memorabilia collection.
Wow, man.
That's actually a good idea.
I
we
know.
might have to
It's
take
a
that
chicken
out,
and waffles joint. You open it in Vegas. Actually, never mind. I was about to name drop again, but that was my idea. I was
Go
going to
ahead.
share it with
Go ahead,
somebody.
share
Yeah,
it.
name dropping. Go ahead.
That was my $1 million idea with AM. I was like, yo, this is what we got to do.
Yeah.
Because AM had crazy memorabilia too.
All right,
You were
yeah,
signed to
that's right.
Dexstar
Yeah, it was.
in what was it, 2008,
Seven.
9? 2007?
Yeah.
Seven.
How'd you link up with AM?
Aoki.
Aoki, Stevie. And you linked up with Aoki just working with artists or
Doing parties
didn't
and
that-
shit,
Doing
yeah.
parties.
Mm-hmm.
Did you live in LA for a while?
Lived in LA for a long ass time.
That's where I know. I just remember always hearing Pace Rock in LA, Pace Rock in
Yeah.
LA.
I did New York and LA back and forth for like a year in 06.
Mm-hmm.
And then 09 I moved to LA.
You used to do that, the banana split parties?
Yep.
back then?
Center space.
And for some reason,
Mhm.
I would always tie you in with some of the new artists that were out at that time, but you probably weren't connected to them at all. But you guys were just in the scene, like Nicky
Spank-
Avalon.
Spank Rock.
What is it?
Spank Rock.
What is that?
Spank Rock was a huge rap. He's a rapper, but was basically a rap group, and I was
Yeah.
like the hype man / DJ.
Spank Rock.
Ah.
Yeah.
But were you in that? Was that all where? Is like because LA's, I guess not. It's a small scene. It's not small, but I'm just saying
Mhm.
it's
There was
probably
a hub.
everyone's- Yeah, but it was like Mickey Avalon was in there. Was
I never
everyone
did nothing. I
connected?
never did
No?
nothing with Mickey Avalon, but I did like a little mini tour with Simon Rex and
That's what it is. Simon,
Simon
Rex.
Rex.
and
Yes.
what's the other dude? Dirt Nasty, and there's another one.
Oh, yeah,
It wasn't
Dirty
Mickey
Nasty.
Avalon. It was like Mickey Avalon.
Mickey Avalon. I thought Simon Rex and Dirt Nasty were the same guy.
No, it
It
is.
is.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, Dirt. I did a fucking Florida tour with that dude, and I was like, this ain't my lane.
Yeah, he's
What
nuts
is it?
out
What
here.
he was like troll rap at the. He was like an early version of troll rap.
He
at
was
the
like
time, right?
the
Yeah.
crazy version of LMFAO. Like he was like the extended.
But
crazy
he was
member.
trolling the whole time.
But also, he wasn't. He had the white sorority girls on Smash.
Yeah.
That's a market.
Him and
Who was
Andy
all those
Milonakis.
other guys that
It's
were
like-
blowing up from LA at that time? The guys who had that the black dude and the white dude. They were really
Swayze?
skinny.
I know you talking
Swayze.
about.
Swayze, yeah. They
Yeah.
had that one song, right?
But yo,
Just that one,
I
yeah.
found this whole market with Dirt Nasty. Is the opposite of the Chitlin Circuit. It's like the white version of the Chitlin Circuit. And I was like, yo, this is wild. This is like the white Chitlin Circuit.
That's why you went on tour with him, though.
It was tight, honestly. It was fucking dope. It was dope. I was like, I'm way out of my league, but this shit is tight.
It was
You know what I
fun
mean?
though, right?
I mean, it was fun to watch,
Mhm.
but I couldn't participate. You know, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. For some reason, I felt like because I was in Vegas and I would come to LA once in a while,
hmm
but I felt like that was all. You guys were all kind of this. You guys were all coming together.
Yeah, it was a scene. It was a scene.
Like Swayze, you guys.
It was a scene,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, like that wasn't like we had our own scene, but my scene was like the New York version,
Mhm.
and we kind of like exported it to LA to like cash out. You know what I mean?
Got it,
It
got
was
it.
like because LA, you know, LA has its own culture, but it's like the Hollywood is just it's like whatever's popping, we're gonna like monetize
It's
it.
like a melting pot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
It's almost like I know what you mean.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
it's like
LA culture, like the LA culture that comes from LA,
it
is like
gets packaged and sold a little
but
bit,
it's
right?
it gets packaged and sold easier because they have the access.
Right.
But the real shit that comes from LA, like from the hood and shit like that, like
Mhm.
that's LA culture.
Yeah.
But the Hollywood version of shit is from other places, and you just take it to LA and then you fucking sell it to the masses because they got the market.
Do you feel like those lines are getting blurred a little bit though in LA? Like Hollywood and everything.
You
Or
still
is it-
have you're, if you're
I
from
mean, I
LA,
don't
you
know.
know. If you're from LA, you know what's what.
Yeah.
I'm not in
So-
LA enough now to really kind of call it.
But
Not
you're,
yet.
but you're coming back.
Yeah.
But when I was there, LA also it wasn't the place for me at the time, because I found that like they really don't fuck with black people out there.
Really?
I found out the hard way.
Did you ever go to the South Side?
Was there like any multiple experiences that you went through?
It's just the totality of shit. I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, so I know this shit when I see it. You know what I'm saying?
Can you give an example without blowing anyone's spot up?
I mean, I'll just put it to you like this. Even look at Vegas, right?
yeah,
You see all these billboards for all these DJs.
yeah,
You don't see no black dudes up there.
it's true.
You see one or two.
I mean,
You went really dark, really quick pace.
Nah, it's not dark. It's just the real.
you're right.
It's the reality of the situation.
You see never.
there's certain nightclubs, there's certain clubs out here,
Mm-hmm.
and I swear they only book like good-looking white dudes
Right.
Yep.
Or
It doesn't-
girls,
it-
or women.
or women.
Mm-hmm.
Good looking.
I think women they kind of go across the board. If you're
Yeah,
curious.
I'm gonna tell you this. When I was signed to Dexstar, a lot of my bookings were like, all right, if you want to book Aoki, then you got to book Pase. All right, if you want to book AM, then you got to book Pase.
Right.
And I would go and I would kill it, and it would be great. But I ain't tap dancing for white people. I ain't gonna do that shit. That's not who I am. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to fucking
Well,
send me. They want you to Sammy Davis Jr. this shit.
But exactly, give me an example
like
of what
what?
they're expecting.
It's just like it's not. It's kind of just unwritten and unsaid. You know what I'm saying? It's just like. It's like,
They want to when they so example, you go out for a gig, right?
and this is what I'm saying. This
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Minorities, the things that we have to do to reach a certain audience,
Mm-hmm.
white men don't have to do.
I mean, that's the privilege.
But don't you think now it's like I feel like some of the most uncool shit is just being a white dude right now? Like it's
To who?
I'm saying like even movies. Like movies, like even I talk to people who like my brother who's in Hollywood.
Mhm.
They're looking for diversity,
For sure. Now,
and
Yeah.
yeah, now
because
I feel like-
diversity is cool.
right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think it's actually harder
Mm-hmm.
for white guys right now.
I don't
And
think so.
Well, I'm seeing like that's what my brother's saying is like to be a middle-aged white like writer, producer, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to get a job in Hollywood right now because everyone wants diversity and youth.
Well, maybe we haven't seen it yet. Maybe Hollywood's become really self-aware because everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? We're just sick of looking at white people."
But I mean,
You know?
when you look at the movies that are coming out, you're not seeing the same romantic comedies with like the
Right.
white couple. It's
Right.
it's very changed. It's changed altogether.
I hope so, man. God, I
no,
hope
but I
so.
think it really really has.
I hope so.
What
and
part?
I think even in music, you know what I mean. No one's
Mhm.
remember back in the day. Everyone's looking for the next Justin Timberlake. They're
Mhm.
looking for the next Britney Spears.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's like Lizzo. You know what I mean? Lizzo's popping.
Yeah, she had the
And then-
number
and then
one
you want-
record.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I disagree.
really.
Yeah,
You
because
still think?
yeah, because listen, it's just math at the end of the day. There's mostly white people in the country, and our country is the market.
Yeah.
It's the market that dictates the rest of the world's taste, and white people want to see white people doing shit. At the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like Taylor Swift's still the biggest pop star.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I had this argument with Dizza. He was like, this was back in the day. That's not true anymore. But he was like, who's bigger, Beyonce or Katy Perry? And I was like, Beyonce. He was like, you're fucking tripping. Katy Perry's fucking a million times bigger than Beyonce. And
Really?
I'm like,
No way.
No way.
No.
Maybe to the minority.
at the time, at the time we were having this argument, she
Is this
was.
Kiss a Girl or a teenage?
Nah, this
what
is
is
like-
it?
Teenage
After-
Dream?
Nah,
Yeah.
this is Juicy J, Katy Perry.
No, fuck no.
That's when
2013.
she started to fall off a bit.
No.
No, she was pretty
Dizza-
big back
no,
then.
there's a tripping on
With
that
the
one.
Juicy J?
No, I'm gonna tell you why he was right and I was wrong. If Katy Perry went on tour and Beyonce went on tour, who's gonna have a bigger grossing tour? Katy Perry. If Taylor Swift went on tour, Beyonce went on tour, who's gonna have a bigger grossing tour? Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
right? Now you got kind of Instagram to kind of measure it in a metric, like a quantifiable metric. But
Right.
the thing is, my argument was Beyonce's more culturally influential and
Mm,
culturally
yeah, yeah,
relevant,
Mhm.
and you can't put a number on that
Right.
value, right? But they were like, that shit don't matter. You know, at the end of the day, white people want to see white people doing white shit.
But I don't think that's the case now. I
hope not.
I think there's been a huge change in the last year.
I hope that I'm an old head and the shit has changed and I just can't see it yet. I hope
I
so.
don't know. Well, Taylor Swift just dropped the album and it sold like 1 million copies
Yeah.
in 2 days.
I
Some shit
mean,
like
but
that.
I put it to you like this.
But Katy Perry dropped an album and no one listened to it.
Yeah. and
What
bombed.
what about Post Malone?
His music's good though.
Yeah, his music.
I'm not
is good.
saying it's not, but like
Is he bigger than Jay-Z? I doubt it. You can't compare the two.
No,
It's-
but
well,
it's not the
different though,
same.
man.
But he's bigger than any of his contemporaries.
He's not bigger than Travis.
Yes, he is.
yeah.
Do you think so?
Hell yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know.
I like his music better. I mean, I
love
his
Post
new-
Malone. No disrespect to
What
him.
was it? Beer. What was it? Was his last
Beer
name?
pongs and Bentleys.
Beer bongs and Bentleys.
Yeah, beer bongs and Bentleys.
That
He's
last
way,
album.
he's way bigger than Travis Scott. Way bigger.
That I like that album better than Astro World.
Yeah, bro.
There was more songs than that.
But
Than
we're talking
Astroworld to
about
me.
like who's bigger? I think
Is he
Travis
is he
Scott.
bigger than Drake?
No,
No way.
hell no.
No.
No, Pace. Look, I'm gonna
Pace,
stop
you
you right
crazy,
there.
bro.
Listen,
I respect you.
The only reason why you're probably right, he just has less material, so he's got less time in the game. I mean, Drake's got
You got a point there.
he's got decades.
He got
in the
like
game.
10 years already.
He got way more albums.
You know what? Post
But-
did get he got his number one faster than Drake. I'll give you that.
Well, but also think about how many hit records Billboard top 10 hit records Post had in the last year composed to Drake. Drake never had no number ones last year.
yeah, that's
Or
what
whenever
I'm saying.
Scorpion, none of the Scorpion records went number
Nah,
one.
nice for what?
It went number one?
Yeah,
But
and-
for how long?
And no, right after that, fell off the chart. And My Feelings went to number one. And
God's
bef-
Plan,
and before
right
that,
before the God's
and
Plan.
before that, God's Plan was number one.
But for how long? On the Billboard top
The top 100.
100? But for how long?
It had a good run.
But for how long? Compared to like Wow and like fucking
It had a-
Wow
Sunflower.
was up there.
No, I think it had a longer run at number one.
Okay.
It was like 15 weeks.
All right, so I'm
Something like
tripping. So maybe he's not big as Drake.
Nah, he's not.
Well, Drake's an anomaly.
I would
in
say
in every category. Drake's
But
an
Travis
anomaly.
and Post Malone.
Yeah,
I would
also
say-
Drake's not Post Malone's contemporary. Travis is though.
Travis
Yeah.
is a good
The,
comparison.
the problem is this: is that
But Travis does have a bigger cultural influence than Post Malone.
yeah.
So it's kind of going back
But
to
there's
the
other
same-
Maybe.
but other things come into play with that. It has to do also with his wife and his
Yep.
kids
Mhm.
and
But Post
he's
Malone
a-
don't have to do that.
and his
and that's my
merch.
point.
Yeah.
You gotta, yeah.
But Post Malone is making, I would say, better music.
No, he's doing great. Even his new song
Yo,
is great.
listen, Post Malone is crazy talented.
Yeah.
I don't want to take nothing away from him
Super
either.
nice
No,
guy
no, no.
too.
I'm just trying to make
Yeah.
a point. That dude is super fucking
Yeah,
talented.
he's dope too. He's a nice.
And
super guy.
he makes great music.
I would
like
be as
amazing
bold.
music.
When did Sunflower come out?
Top of the Christmas time.
It was from the movie Spider, the
Spider-Man.
cartoon.
When did that come
Spider-Man.
out?
December.
though? Was that
December, yeah.
December?
Christmas time.
Mhm.
That's a pretty good fuck. That's a great fucking
Yeah.
record, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And I
that's
heard
a
it.
great
I heard
record,
it's
too.
too- it
Also,
was-
those guys
I heard it
that
was 2 years old or some shit.
those guys that do those records are they're so talented.
Who produced that?
I think I want to say Louis Bell.
Oh man.
That guy's yo.
Yo, there's some records on that album that floored me on the Post Malone's album. It literally sounded, some of it sounded like Hall and Oates.
I want to see him do a tour.
Louis Bell.
I just want to see him. Yeah, Louis Bell. Yeah. I want to see him do a tour where he's just him and a guitar, man.
No, Post is great.
He has a
bro.
great voice.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
I
the
can't-
one thing
yeah.
that he has over. That's what I'm talking about with Travis. Travis is out there being a hype man for his music,
Mhm.
and he's not performing nothing. And at some point, you got to come out to the crowd and you got to show him
What you mean?
your talent. Like for him, it's a lot of crowd surfing. It's a lot of
Okay.
amping up,
Yeah.
yelling at
Hype
the
man.
crowd.
But he's a rapper though.
He's but my whole,
So
my whole
is
thing is
Post
that
Malone.
at no point, and he's getting, it's a lot of interaction and he's doing a lot of things that a hype man would do, but he's
Mhm.
never performing any of the songs.
Okay, I haven't seen the show, so I can't really comment on
Watch
it.
that
but
documentary when you have a chance, Pace.
I tried to, man.
It's
But
kinda-
Post Malone
Shout out to
at
my
some
dog
point,
Chase B. Y'all had Chase B on here.
Chase B, yeah.
No.
No, we
No,
haven't had
actually,
him. No.
no.
Y'all gotta have Chase B on here.
Chase B. I mean, I have a very, I don't know. I have a very, I have like a, I'm very judgmental about Travis Scott's music for some reason.
Okay.
But it's because I think, I don't know. Like I think he changed the. I expected more from him. Maybe is
Okay.
that what it was? Because I don't hate on him, but I
Mhm.
definitely think with Astro World,
Astro
he
World was a-
disappointed.
was a
I think it was a
letdown.
big disappointment.
I
Because-
didn't listen to. I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, the Birds in the Trap is that
Yeah.
shit was kind of a
That
fallout.
to me-
I love the name of that record.
Birds in the
Trap
Trap,
Singing
yeah.
Night. That's brilliant.
But that was to me that was a genius record. To me it changed hip hop.
What
is that the one
Birds?
with?
Yeah.
That the one with
Birds in the Trap.
Don't you open up that window? That's
No,
on
that's
No,
Rodeo, and that was a good one too.
And Rodeo, yeah.
Rodeo
Those
was
two
the
albums
first
were
one.
to me.
What's
genius.
on Birds in the Trap?
Beebs in the Trap, The Ends, Pick Up the Phone.
Pick up the phone, baby. That's my
That's what I'm saying,
shit.
yeah.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, baby.
Those two albums to me changed hip hop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is that leading up to Astro World, there was just so many
much
people.
hype, too.
No, but there was so many people stealing his sound, and then he was giving his sound to everybody,
Gave
and
it
they
to
kind of
Kanye.
played it out.
Kanye.
He gave it to Kanye
Mhm.
in a silver platter.
I mean,
And it
you gotta do what you gotta do.
and then to me, I think when Astro World came out, it almost sounded like it sounded predictable and cliche of what he has already done. And the only track that stood out was the one, obviously, Sickle Mode. And Drake just really carried
He
that whole
bodied that
fucking
shit.
song. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Travis went off on that shit, but you know. And I think I really want to see more from him, but from everything that I'm seeing, I don't think he's showing enough.
I don't know,
I-
man.
you know.
I like Travis a lot, man.
I do. I like his music a lot, and I think there's more there. I just don't see it. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like I think he gets lost in maybe the hype a little bit, you know, too much, and
I
just
think
all of that stuff.
Maybe he's just living his life, man. He's young and he's fucking.
He's 26,
He's young.
bro.
He's 26,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah.
And I think Post is around
Still
the same
super
age.
young. Yeah.
I can't. I don't envy those guys.
I think Post is like 24, 25.
I don't envy either one of them.
Yeah.
I never want. Yo.
The amount of pressure, right?
I mean, just to be
Just what I'm asking for is,
Nah,
is-
man,
is-
listen.
it's too much too.
to
Right?
24, 25, 26 with that much money and that much access.
Doing what they're doing.
Oh man.
Post was born in 95,
God damn.
24 years old.
Yeah.
Ooh.
24.
Yeah.
He's
And
24 now.
24 now.
Jesus.
Born in 95.
Living.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
It's
a
hard
crazy,
because
that's a crazy life.
It's so hard because we're so judgmental of their music, and they're so young, right?
Sorry, Travis is 28 from 91.
28. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like
That's
we're-
he's doing good though. 28. He's ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think he at that age and he's doing what he's doing now. I think he's going to do some great things.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed with Astro.
If
World.
if he can hone in on the art and the music,
Yeah.
he could sky's the limit for him.
I just want to see something different. I feel
I
like everything that he's
But
doing
he has
is
time,
redundant,
man. Like you said, he's
28.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Astro
you've
World
seen
is
it.
barely kind of at the end of the rollout.
But what you think about like these successful dudes in Hollywood? Like, they gonna get eaten up, man.
Which one? What are you
Like
talking
who?
about?
Like, for example,
All of them.
You mean,
Just the lifestyle.
You mean artists
Well-
in general?
Well,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber just came out a few days ago,
Exactly.
and he posted about that when he was 21 or 20, and he had all this fucking money,
Mm-hmm.
and he's coming from a small town in Canada, and then you just put the platform and give him the lights and all that shit. The reason why he was acting out was because he didn't know how to take all that shit in.
Mm-hmm.
And being 21 and you get millions and millions of dollars and do whatever the fuck you want.
It ain't even that, man. Could you just think about the crazy pussy that gets thrown your way? Like,
I'm being psychological. This is vagina.
nah, but it's like that goes with it too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But like women will drive you, women will just put you over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that'll just fuck your whole shit up. And you 20 something years old, you don't know what to do with that.
21.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from experience. I ain't know what to do with it.
You know, I mean, it's just. I mean, it's just. I think it's scarier now because it's like, you know, back in the days when you were growing up and you know you had a shitty report card, you could go home, you can like, kind of like get the mail before your mom and hide the report card, right?
Right.
And then she didn't really have access to the school. She worked 9 to 5,
Right.
so she couldn't like go
Now
to the
it's-
school.
now
What
it's
school
to
was you
email.
going to? My mom's had to get my report card.
Oh no,
my shit was mailed to the
it was
house.
mailed to the house, and I would
Yeah.
I would get it, and I would be like, I don't know what happened. Like,
My mom's had to go to at night to get the report card.
Nah,
Parent,
I
teacher.
brought mine home. It wasn't even mailed. It was
Yeah.
just bring it home.
so and then, but nowadays, yo, like,
It's
Yeah, how does it work now?
motherfuckers are
It's
emailing
emailed
the
right to
teachers.
you.
They're
Yeah,
emailing
right
the
to you.
teachers, yo.
You have an app.
If something if your kid does something bad,
You get an alert.
You get an alert instantly.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
get a
notification.
text. You get a text alert, or you
I
get
never
an email.
thought about that. Oh shit.
So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
crazy.
it's harder to hide shit. It's like everyone's under a microscope.
For sure.
Pretty much.
For sure.
So like when it comes to, you can't even make at 21 or 20, you
can't
can't
put shit
even
on-
make a mistake with a girl.
No.
You can't even fuck up once.
Nope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw the Dirt documentary movie, whatever it was, the Motley Crue one.
Yeah.
Them dudes was like spazzing the fuck out at 20.
Dude, in social media, they would be in jail. They would be in jail or some
I mean,
shit, man.
just what's his name? Nicky Six.
Nicky Six.
Where he died and then they revived him and all that shit. That shit was nuts. Like, imagine the paramedic like taking a picture.
You just made a really good point, man. It's like it's a really good reason to just get married and call it a day. Because you can't do shit out here.
No, but you got to get your shit off too, though. You can't just get married because then you're always thinking like, well, you need to get it out of your system.
It's out of my system.
Yeah, well, you are, but not when you're 22.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
For sure.
Well,
so like, when you have all that money and you're famous and like you said, like there's shorties everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you got to get your shit off, but you got to make a ton of mistakes before you realize,
That's
like,
true.
yo, like
That's
that's
true.
what I'm saying. Like, no matter what,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's going to happen to these dudes? I feel like somebody who's there to catch them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, Post Malone. I remember I met Post Malone a little after White Iverson. I was selling him shoes, and he had his girlfriend always with him.
Yeah.
He always had his girl with him.
Same.
And
I had him at my club, and
he was with that.
she was attached.
They were like
to the
hip.
Yeah.
And then the fame came, and I don't know what happened. But
Charlemagne told him.
yeah, she
Charlemagne
was
told
gone.
him. Charlemagne was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna last."
Yeah,
He had her on the Breakfast Club with him doing an interview. She was right there.
yeah, and she
That's
was
how
a
they-
sweet girl. Super
That's
nice
how they
girl.
rolled. That's how they rolled.
Bro, like he'll go to the sneaker store and he'll drive her car and like it was like a regular.
It was
Honda.
cute. It was cute,
Yeah, it was
right?
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'm driving my girl's car."
He was all innocent and
super
shit.
nice guy. And then
Yeah.
the fucking I don't know what.
wait,
record
who are we
it was.
talking about?
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Oh,
And he always had his girl with him. And then he blew. He did the Justin Bieber tour and
Yeah.
all that fame came. And then now I think they're like broken up.
Yo, I remember watching that Breakfast Club interview, and I was like, "Damn, Charlemagne, why you doing him like that, man? That's fucked up."
He was like, "Yo, she's gonna be gone." Like,
yeah,
she's gonna.
he was like harsh as fuck with him, and it was just like it was rude. It was really fucking rude because it was like a young couple in love and just innocent as fuck, and just like they was young. Like he's 24, he was probably like 19, 20.
Yeah.
The dude just took a big shit on. He was like, "This ain't gonna."
This was 4 years ago
I
when
was
I
like,
met him.
"Damn, bro, how you
Yeah.
gonna do that to him?"
And it's funny because
I felt so bad, but he
Later-
was right. But he was right though.
he was.
yeah, that's just crazy.
He
man.
knew it. He was like, "This shit is a
It's
rap."
so funny, like as you get older and you see patterns repeating in younger people,
Yeah, I know.
and
It's fucked up.
and you can't even tell them. You can't even
Nah.
tell them not to do it because they got to go through it.
Yeah, and then also you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah,
The shit could work out. They could have had a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, they're from the
But-
same town. You
but-
know what's the craziest part? She was booking him at her parties
Yeah,
to
she
perform,
was a promoter or some
and
shit.
she kind of put him on.
yeah.
yeah.
And then basically,
That's how it works, man.
But man,
Yeah,
like
man.
you just know that the world is a harsh fucking place, and it ain't got no room for like innocence.
yeah,
But it's funny though
You know what I'm
because
saying?
I could meet certain people, and I can see how the next 5 years is gonna pan out for them.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? It's
But
kind of scary.
I feel like I meet people, and I want to ask them like, how do you see my situation? Because I want to know what the fuck's
Right,
gonna happen
right.
with me. You know,
like
Same
old,
way
like
you
some
saying-
older OGs, right? Yeah.
I got people like that in my life.
Yeah.
I got OGs where I'm like, man, I'm so
I
glad I,
have
got
no
you in my life.
OGs.
I do.
Crooked's my OG.
You ain't got no OGs.
I need an OG.
I have no OG even. Man.
You need to get you
I'm
some
the
OGs.
fucking OG.
Yo,
Who's my OG?
I got OGs.
No, I got
man.
some OGs.
Yeah,
I got some OGs.
You're my OG right now, Crook.
That's pretty
that's
sad.
fucked up.
Damn, man.
Nah.
That's not a
Yeah,
good
he's my
thing,
OG.
man.
He puts me on. He's like he corrects everything. Yo, don't do this.
That's
do
tight.
that.
He's probably a good OG.
No, yeah, he's a great OG.
Yeah.
Curses me the fuck
I
out when
just think
need
it's
to.
weird. I can see certain people, and I can be like, and it's weird because I can be like, should I tell them to like watch this?
Yes.
yeah,
Because I can already see flaws in their character,
Yes.
and I can say like, yo, you putting shit out there a little too much,
Right.
And
I mean, you had to tell Momo he was name dropping. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, but that's just breaking his balls a little bit. But there's certain people that I know. I'm like, yo, you could be really famous, or you could be really good,
Oh yeah.
but this character flaw of yours,
Yeah.
you don't even see it.
Yep.
But
And
sometimes you
you
gotta
know-
hold back. You can't like
No.
be like that.
I know.
No, with
So
Crooked,
don't.
he gives me a 3-month evaluation.
But he knows you, so it's different. But
I do this shit with Jamie where I already know, and I'm really tough on Jamie, but I mean, in the end, you kind of know that I foresee shit
Yeah, here he talking about how when I'm getting married, he told me who I'm gonna end up with. He's like, you can do this, but you gotta keep doing that.
No. I break down his like the way he does things and the way he thinks, the way he perceives work.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you've worked like for someone all your life, you perceive work differently than someone who's worked for themselves for 10 years.
Got it.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yep.
So like that's the thing that I deal with Jamie, and he's really smart. He's smarter than, I mean, he's not really smart, but
Thank
you know,
you, bro.
Damn.
he's smart enough.
He made me at 28.
He just gets by. He knows enough.
No, not gets back. Come on, now. It shouldn't be like that.
You know,
Boys.
Jamie is like that key that goes in the lock, but you got to jiggle
got a
it
hard
to
time
open
to
it.
open it.
You gotta pull the door a little bit.
The door open.
It doesn't turn all the way right away. You just
The
gotta,
key will turn. You just got to jiggle
you
it.
gotta keep
man.
rusty
fucking
shit.
around with it. And then,
Little WD-40 works.
That's it. That's the way you are. But no, I think it's weird that I can foresee that shit, and then sometimes I'm just like, should I say something?
Yeah, you should. I think
Yeah.
so.
But sometimes
But there's balance too, though. You gotta be like, know when to hold and know when to fold. You know?
Yeah. It's funny because motherfuckers will give me advice, and I'll be like, oh, motherfucker. I don't listen.
No, yeah.
but there's times that I like.
I swear that like this is another old, this is an OG looking at me like, yo man, I'm telling you, man, you should do this, man. I'll be like, yo, word. Now I walk away, I'll be like, man, fuck out of here.
this is the last motherfucker to be talking shit, man.
Right. Well, it's like it depends on who's coming from too. Like they know what they talking about or nah, you know.
I get a lot of good advice from like washed up Uber drivers, like
That's
old,
what's up.
old like 50, 60
Those
years.
are your OGs.
Those are my OGs,
Those are
man.
your OGs.
Yo, they be having gyms sometimes though.
Yeah, I find like I'll get like a 65-year-old driver who owned like 2 companies,
Right.
and then I'm like, what are you doing out here? It's like, well, got a lot of money saved up. I'm just a little bored, so I'm just driving an Uber. And then he'll just drop some
tight.
jewels, and I'll just ask him about business and all of this shit.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I was always the youngest dude in my crew, so I always had OGs.
Damn.
I always had
same.
OGs.
Same.
And it's helped me a lot too. A lot.
I don't know, man. I need some OGs.
Man. Yeah, me too.
Where do you get OGs?
Gotta Google. Yeah, Google find it.
Maybe that's a new program.
Maybe that could be a new app.
OG program.
Find an OG.
Find the nearest OGs
Find
like
the
an
nearest
Uber
OG.
app.
Yeah.
He's 10 miles away. Okay.
I just like stand next to. Oh, like yo.
It's like Tinder.
Yo, can you look out? Can you look out for me?
Like an OG version of Tinder.
It's like Grindr for OGs.
Yeah. Oh, there's one down the street. Okay. Let's see what
need some advice.
Let's see what old sugar buns is talking about.
You're in the same room with the OG.
I mean, shit. This is probably your business in that. I ain't gonna lie. Man.
OG, triple OG.
Triple OG. Do I want the OG or the triple?
Get some good advice.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's not
That's
a
not a
bad
bad
idea.
idea,
You got
right?
a bunch of good ideas. I'm still mad at the Hip Hop Planet Hollywood.
I know, right?
With Ross One and
Ross-
AM.
Yeah.
That would have blown the fuck
Oh,
up.
tell me about it. Yo, I got 1 million of them, dog.
Yo,
I'm the $1 million idea man.
I would eat at that motherfucker.
Right?
know, right?
Chicken and waffles.
Chicken waffles.
Yo.
With the Kool-Aid? Woo!
Can you imagine if AM started a chicken and waffles?
At the Palms?
Like a DJ AM chicken and waffle spot? We got to talk to Kevin Scott and Shecky and see what we could do, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
I feel like that one might be pretty big.
I told him
would be huge.
before he died. I told him that shit. I was like, "Here's the $1 million idea. You do it in Vegas. You got the Rolodex. You get fucking Snoop to open that shit. You get Eric. You know what I mean? You come through. We get the celebrities to come. You got the celebrities. You got all the rappers. You know what I'm saying? We got the memorabilia already."
And what did he say?
He was like, "That's a good idea."
He never did that
But
shit.
then he died.
Oh, man.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, man.
You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
How was your relationship with AM, man?
I mean, he was one of my OGs. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget this, man. He was like, "Yo, man, you got it. You just gotta do the work." And that stuck with me. Still to this day, I got that ingrained in my head. He told me I got it. I just gotta do the work. That's all I needed, man.
I'm a super duper DJ AM fan. I was telling you earlier that one of the coolest videos on YouTube of AM was yours.
I hate that shit.
That's the greatest video. Don't hate it. They're in AM's like living room.
Yeah.
They're doing like a string routine and shit like that. And it was great because it's like a vlog. It was like a early vlog version of what's happening now. I wanted to ask you, how did his death affect you, and like what?
It was just fucked up, man. Because the crazy shit was.
Like, how did you find out? Like,
the first one was I thought he died in the plane crash.
Okay.
So that was the first one. They were like, "Yo, did you hear about the plane crash?" Them Jeans called me, and he was like, "You hear about Am?" And I was like, "Nah, what?" And he was like, "Fucking plane crash." And when you say somebody's a plane crash, you like,
there's no survivors.
Right. So I was like, "What the fuck?"
This is when he got burned, right?
Yeah. And then I was just like, and then I don't remember how it happened, but they were like, "No, but he survived." And I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? So I think that video might have even been just after that, because I stayed with him like maybe a month later. I stayed at his house. I was going back and forth between New York and LA. I stayed at his house, and I was like, "Yo, that shit was." I was kind of shook to be in his house because it was like real soon, and he was acting normal. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't stop working. He, like, went right back to work.
Yeah.
And, like...
Was that his choice to go back to work?
Yeah.
It was.
It was the Jay-Z joint.
Yeah, the Jay-Z thing. Yeah. Because he was just in I think he was just in, like, such a mental mode that he didn't want to, like... He was just, like... He was on go.
And he was having fun with it, right?
Yeah, but he was just on go. And I think he didn't take time to process what that shit really happened. Because him and Travis, they were the only survivors.
Yeah.
Like everybody else in the...
That's the most cryptic thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think that guilt weighed on him a lot.
Exactly.
And him and Travis.
But you don't know about survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Until something like that happens to you.
Like, why is my life worth living?
Right.
And not theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, you don't know what that is. You didn't even know it had a name.
Yeah.
Until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not something that a lot of people ever get to experience.
I feel like he wanted to do a lot of good, and
for sure.
I think when he was doing that MTV documentary, and when I see the AM documentary, I feel like, yo, he should not have been around that shit at all.
Nah. Well, that too. Yeah, absolutely. But what really, the plane crash took him out. That was my point of the story. Is he died in the plane crash, basically. Like,
I never heard that one.
Well, he got burns all over his body.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I should be talking about this, but whatever. He was sober. He had to take painkillers for the burns.
Okay.
And he wasn't allowed to have any kind of drugs.
Yeah.
And when you're an addict, you can't just take one.
Right. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You
so
get addicted. Again.
Yeah. So I think I heard stories that he would be on a plane and like he'd go and he'd have a bottle of, whatever it was, and he'd wake up and the bottle was empty type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
it's like an alcoholic. You get that taste, you gotta,
right,
and it just can't stop it.
Yeah. And then it kind of spirals and you lose it. And I think because it was pills and it was prescribed by a doctor and it wasn't, this was pre-opioid crisis.
Right.
It was safe.
Right.
Well, it was just, the situation itself. The motherfucker had third-degree burns all over his body, like his head was burned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that situation. You can't. There's nobody to say you need to do it this way. The motherfucker survived the plane crash. Like, who the fuck does that happen to?
Right.
That don't happen to people. So there's nobody to say this is to walk you through the steps. This is what you need to do, and you can always look back and say, well, this should have went like this, and that should have went like that. You know what I mean? But and I've heard a lot of people try to blame other people and shit, and that shit ain't fair, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not fucking fair at all, because everybody that was around him loved him and cared about him,
right,
and wanted the best for him. And these people that want to blame this person or blame that person, that's not fucking fair. You know what I mean?
No one's like a fortune teller, man. No one's gonna know how damaging a simple decision like do you take this gig or not take this gig,
right?
Or like
but
whatever, right?
but also he was his own man and he made his own decisions. You know, he ran DJing, he ran his company.
I can believe that he was very hands on, man.
Yeah, no, I mean he was yay or naying everything.
Yeah,
and he wanted to work. Bottom line, none of us are rich. He didn't grow up rich.
Right.
All of a sudden he's making money. What you gonna do? Stop? No, he fucking took every gig that came his way.
That's an important mentality though. That when you don't grow up rich, and when you have that poor mentality or like just a broke mentality,
well, it's just like
I don't know when this is gonna end, right?
So keep stacking.
I gotta keep
doing it.
I gotta keep banking on it.
Yeah, it's just like
because I feel like sometimes even us, like even us just working DJs, we take any gig that we can. And never. Sometimes you do like, you work 6 nights. You'll work 6 gigs in a weekend.
Yeah, that's what
you know what I'm saying.
At a point.
And we don't know how much like
gonna
that
damage your
wears on our
body. Yeah, you don't know none of that shit.
until like later, like literally after the summer or end of the year. You're like, yo, man, like I feel fucked up, and the doctor's like, yo, man, you haven't been taking care of your shit.
Exactly.
You've been doing what, and I feel like recently with D's broken ass and shit, and then no, but I recently went through a health scare. You kind of went through a little health scare.
Yeah.
I have.
It all happened to us at the same fucking time, and we were just like, yo, we got to slow down and
it was
take care of
every
ourselves.
2 weeks something was happening. I was like, shit.
I mean, look at me right now. I'm wearing this fucking mask.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick.
You trying to look cool though, right?
No,
Nah, you doing this for
Trying to cover that face.
But you have like a flu, like a little cough going on.
but still, it's just like you gotta take care of yourself. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And it's like,
You don't realize it till like you really get fucked up though. Like that's the
That's the wake-up
tough
call.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, sad thing about AM, man, that I always hear about is that I was always in circles with him, but everyone would jock him so hard that I just had this I always have like when someone's like sweating something really bad, I kind of back off a little bit. Somehow,
I was like that at first, I think, but he was a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He was.
I've
solid.
heard nothing but great things about him.
He was solid as fuck.
Yeah.
And he was a good DJ. I wasn't one of those people that jocked him.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew plenty of DJs that were better than him, but that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Because none of them could do what he did.
I was always proud of everything that he did, though. Like
Yeah.
he made us proud to be DJs,
For sure.
right?
He
Like
represented.
when he showed up in Entourage, when he had the Nike commercial,
For sure.
and
When he was in Iron Man.
He's in
Yeah.
Iron Man.
he was Iron Man
Yeah.
too.
We were all like, we weren't like, yo, fuck that dude.
Nah, it was like, hell yeah.
We were like,
It was
yo,
like,
That's
man.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
For
did the
sure.
set. He did the
Yeah.
Iron Man song when they're fighting. That's
Yeah.
all him.
And
Yeah.
if we were just, I remember thinking like, yo, like, yeah, fuck yeah, like that just gives everyone hope. Like,
Hell yeah.
Because
I
I guess he is one of the true successful celebrity working DJs.
Well,
right?
he was one of us. At
Right.
the end of the day,
He was
he knew the
working
grind.
Yeah.
He knew he was from the gutter. He worked his way up.
Yeah.
He didn't have shit, and everybody remembers him as like celebrity DJ AM. They don't remember like fat kid DJ AM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that was like the real DJ AM. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
AM.
Like people only remember him after he lost all that weight and shit. But he came up the same way we did, just hustling. His hustle was crazy, man. I never seen nobody driven like that.
But just even the way he did the Dexstar shit, where if you want to book AM, or if you want to book Steve Aoki, you have to
Get fashion and pace.
there has to be like 3 to 4 residencies set up for everyone on my roster.
Yeah, but everybody
And y'all
held it
getting
down.
paid good too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The good old days.
I remember because I'd be like, we'd be talking, I'd be like, yo, the Dexstar rate's a little higher. It's like a little higher than the Scam Artist rate. What the fuck's going on, man?
I mean, it was good while I mean, I knew that shit wasn't gonna last forever, but it was a ride. You know?
Did you know it wasn't? Did you feel like it wasn't gonna last forever? Like,
Hell yeah.
really?
Hell yeah. I mean, listen, man.
I didn't see that shit. I thought it would.
It wasn't my first rodeo. That was like my third cycle of success, quote unquote. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just like,
I haven't been through my first. Have you? Have you
Nah.
been through your first?
I mean, that was like my third time tasting a little bit of like, I did it. You know what I mean? Like,
What was the second time was Simon Rex going on tour with him?
Nah, that was Dexstar. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
because he was managed by Dexstar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of groupings like that, like weird little places where I didn't belong. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I mean, rest in peace, AM, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just. I just remember being so happy and proud when he came up.
Yeah, he was a
And
dope
everything
dude,
he did,
man.
man.
He was a dope ass dude. Like
But,
he was like the dopest dude, man.
It was so crazy though. Like when you get in a DJ circle and when there's DJs in the room, the way they flocked him was so. I wouldn't say pathetic, but it was like really. It was insane. yo.
He was so welcoming. That's the thing. Like
He was like, he was always nice.
He
But
made you. He made
the
you.
way that these DJs jocked him was like so. I
I
was
know
just
it.
like, yo,
I know
my
what
man,
you're saying.
relax.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
But some of it was, you could tell when it was fake and you could tell when it was genuine. You know what I'm
saying? That's why I
saying?
kind of like, I was like, I don't want to be one of these dudes that's like jogging it.
It depends on who it was too. Though, you know what I mean?
I just remember like it would always start out with like me and like maybe like all 6 of us just hanging out, and then all of a sudden there'd be like 15 DJs around us,
right?
And then I'd just be like, I'm getting out of here,
right?
Because now it's becoming like,
it's a circle
who could
jerk.
impress AM kind of thing, and
right,
who's gonna make AM laugh and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, so I was just
saying.
like, let me get out of here.
Yeah, that shit ain't my bag either. But when I met him, he was already famous, and I was just like, damn, bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was like,
how'd you link up with Steve Aoki though?
They used to book me for their parties. That's really how it happened. They was just like, yo, we got it. You know, I think by that time my name was just buzzing, and it was just like, yo, you gotta get Pase, and I would do their parties, and I would just murder their parties. But
what was your DJ style at the time? Like, I never heard you spin.
The thing was, you know, like all that hipster shit. Like, this is pre EDM.
Yeah.
So it was like. The thing was, I was in Spank Rock.
MGM? It wasn't the MGMT at that time, right?
It was before that.
It was before
that.
It was like dubstep, like "Where's my money?"
It was before.
No.
It was before that.
This is like.
You see, y'all don't know about Spank Rock.
No,
I know the name.
I don't know that one record, right?
I don't know the music, but I mean,
right.
But
y'all don't know about Spank Rock.
He had that one record that blew the fuck up.
Spank Rock was a whole thing, and I was a part of Spank Rock, and that's the thing. We toured the world for like 2-3 years, and we tore every fucking venue. We tore everything a new asshole. Couldn't nobody go on after us. It was like
what's the biggest hit?
Yeah,
he didn't really have no hits like that. He just had a really good album, but it was about the live show. The live show was just unfucking.
Damn, how come I know that name, but how come it doesn't register with anything?
Because he really didn't have no big records that you would have to play as a DJ.
Yeah.
But it was a scene, and it was like he was the head of the scene. Like, it was like MIA, Spank Rock, Santi Gold.
like
So
Diplo.
Diplo
blew up.
Yeah.
You're talking about kind of like the
like the holla. Was it holla bag?
Holotronics.
Holotronics.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so this was like early 2000s?
Yeah, it was like 2005, 2006.
Oh, so this is like borderline
Like the
Baltimore
Baltimore
house. Where Baltimore house was
I was
popping.
playing a lot of Baltimore clubs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get what you mean. Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, man. See, this is the thing. Like, I was like a hip hop DJ playing this progressive dance music, but I always played house, like, from the beginning. I was always, I had my first residencies in Cincinnati had the open format club in like 01, 02, and then I had the house club.
Yeah.
So I did the open format club on Fridays, and on Saturdays I did the house club. So, and even 5D's music was pretty dance friendly. Like, we made a lot of house records, like hip house, rap.
Right.
And then when I linked up with Naeem with Spank Rock, in my mind, he was the sequel to what I was trying to do with 5D's.
Was he borderline like B More? Like,
he's from Baltimore.
yeah, so he had that B More sound. I got it.
But it was like legit. It was like the real B More sound.
But he was like,
from
he was
Baltimore.
one of the guys kind of leading. Was he like leading
was
this
the-
shit?
he was
Not
the-
really.
Huh?
Was he leading like the B More movement?
Yeah, because he's from Baltimore and he's a rapper, but he was rapping over
I
Baltimore
swear
club
he
tracks.
had a breakthrough. Like, there's
Put that pussy on me. Turntable Lab.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
I know. I feel
He had this song called "Shake It Till My Dick Turn Racist."
I feel like I should know that.
He had this song called anyway, this motherfucker is one of the greatest writers of our generation. Also,
Spank Rock.
I still work with him to this day.
So around this time with the Be More movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what were records we were playing at this time?
Also, I just want to say this too. Every motherfucker jacked his swag. He got swagger jacked by so many people.
Really?
Yep.
AM?
No, Spank Rock.
Spank Rock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm gonna say this publicly. There wouldn't be no Kanye West or Kid Cudi without Spank Rock.
Really?
Hands down.
I'm telling you, that name
And ain't nobody
rings.
gonna tell you that but me.
Wow.
Because I was there and I seen it happen.
Really? And
Facts.
Yeah, man.
All right. Do you know about Spank Rock, P-Dot?
Yeah, I mean, when you guys would do shows out in LA, like the
Mhm.
like hard
We'd tear shit down. We would tear it down. Couldn't nobody go on after us. We would tear it down.
Damn, man. Fuck.
Legit. Yo,
my
I'll tell you.
mind's drawing a blank. Do you
I'll
know
tell you
about
this.
Do you remember this?
I'm gonna tell you this.
No, like I said, I know the name.
I'm gonna tell
I
you this. I'm
remember-
gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm flexing right now. But we closed Coachella 07 up against Rage Against the Machine. We blew the motherfuckers off the stage.
Really?
Ask anybody. They wrote articles about it. Like everybody was trying to see Rage Against the Machine. The real motherfucking party was in the Sahara tent at Spank Rock.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I gotta. I mean,
You can watch the video. I ain't talking shit. You can watch the video.
I'm gonna watch this.
It's on YouTube.
Definitely.
It's on YouTube.
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
For real.
For that video, watch it.
Anyway, so that's how I got involved with Aoki and AM, because it was kind of like that was pushing the culture at the time.
Right, definitely.
And it was coming from us, and we was like the real shit.
I mean, that was basically. I would even say that was the banana split sound.
Yeah.
100%.
We would do those parties. I mean, that's like.
Wait, this is you?
That's me, yeah. Yeah.
It looks like the style you're talking about, Kanye stealing and shit.
Yeah. But I did
Break down the style. What was it? What was it exactly?
I did Dim Mak Tuesdays
Yeah.
in like 05, 06 or something like that. And me and Naeem did it, and this was before his album came out. Me and Cosmo and Naeem Spank Rock, we did a mixtape before Naeem's album came out.
Cosmo Baker.
Uh-huh. We did a mixtape.
Shout out to Cosmo.
Yeah, we did a mixtape before his album came out, and we toured the mixtape, and we did Cinespace, and we shut that shit down. Nobody was there, and they were like, "Yo, we gotta have y'all back." So I went back to DJ, and I was DJing in the same vein. My DJ set was basically the DJ version of what our live show was. So, and it was just, you couldn't fuck with us. Like, we were making the music that everybody wanted, and all the music after that came from.
Yeah,
it was like
you
Diplo.
influenced. Yeah,
Diplo monetized it basically, but it was like MIA, Diplo, Santi Gold, us. But Naeem's the unsung hero. But
Interesting.
He's the black dude,
Oh, we're back to that.
so he ain't as marketable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel it's changing though. It's changing. Pace is changing. If you come back to LA, I think you'll see. You'll definitely see.
Where did you stay at when you were living in LA?
I live downtown,
Oh, okay.
MacArthur Park,
I love downtown.
Oh, you was in the hood.
basically. Yeah,
You were buying the fake IDs. MacArthur Park's where we go get those
Langers.
Yeah.
Langer sandwiches.
Yeah,
Langer sandwiches, the
yeah.
dopest shit.
That's where I live.
We're addicted to those
I
pastrami
know, right? The
sandwiches.
Yeah,
pastrami sandwiches.
That's my block.
Fucking
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle owns a restaurant around there.
Yeah.
We never go to your uncle's.
I know,
But yo, I'm gonna send you links to the Spank Rock to videos.
No.
Yeah, we need
It's
that
like
for the
it's
video.
like crazy. We did this show. We did this show at McCarran Park
Yeah.
at the pool. It was we brought MIA out. Yo, you ain't never seen nothing like it in your life, dog.
It's crazy.
Wow, man.
Crazy.
Okay. Because I'm remembering the name.
The
I just
Spank
don't-
Rock
I know
just
the
brings
name, yeah,
off.
but I just don't know.
And it's crazy. He's like, people that know, because
P-Dot.
they seen it.
P-Dot knows.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not exaggerating. It was we had the illest show on earth,
I know.
and we toured it for like 3 years. Yo, it was like the blackest shit you ever seen in your life. I swear to God. Because he was like James Brown, Prince, and Rakim in one.
So what happened? Where is he? Like what?
He's still making music, man. He's on Bon Iver's new album. He does weird shit. He's like the Black Bowie of our generation. He's unsung. And like, I don't know what's gonna happen with his career, but people gonna look back and be like, damn, we should have paid more attention to this motherfucker.
Now I'm gonna do the research.
For real. He's brilliant.
What do you think is the reason why he didn't maybe pop as big as other artists?
He's just made a couple bad decisions, I think. He
Yeah.
also didn't care. He's like a genuine artist. Like, he's really about the music. He don't give a fuck about none of the rest of the shit.
Yeah.
Business, basically. And he didn't care about being famous or none of that shit. He's a weird artist kid from Baltimore that just
The world was his playground.
like music and shit. Like, wanted to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't have the wind at his back, basically. You know?
I'm trying to remember that whole Be More era. It seems like a blur to me now that I think about it.
Yo.
More and more, right?
Dog. We had our show, when we was really at like peaking, we had like 4 African drummers. Like, imagine Baltimore club with a djembe troupe and dancers. We had like African dancers with it too.
What kind of venues were you guys selling
2
out?
DJs.
Like arenas? Something
Nah, it was like we were on like the festival circuit.
Okay.
So we would do like festivals in Brazil. Australia was a huge market for him.
Wow.
There's this crazy story where his biggest tour, it was like his highest paying tour, he just didn't show up, and I had to do the whole tour by myself.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Did you have to pretend to be him?
Nah, so So basically, the way our show was set up, because I was the hype man. So half the show was basically me anyway.
Yeah.
So I just had to figure out how to do the show by myself. But I had solo material. So we basically did a show. We did the concept of the show through me instead of through him.
Nice.
And I did a 4-city Australian festival tour, like 20,000 here, 10,000 here, 30,000 here.
It's fucking crazy, man.
like it was
I'm telling
intense.
You, Pase Rock has a lot.
It was
of stories.
intense, man.
No, I just remember like when I was in Vegas and I would just hear Pase Rock, and I do remember Spank Rock,
Yeah.
but there was just no reference to what was going on.
We did a lot of shit in Vegas. We opened up for Kanye in Vegas one time and blew his ass off the stage. Just saying.
I love it, man. I love it.
Nah, for real. And
you can see a smile like
through the mask.
Through the mask.
I'm really proud of that shit.
Yeah.
For real. Cause it was a high point in my life.
If we could edit some footage from that.
Yo, it was a high point in my life, for real.
Yeah.
That was like some of the best shit I've ever done musically.
Dope, man.
It was black as fuck. It was black as fuck, dude. I'm telling you. It was like the blackest shit you ever seen in your life. And both of us danced too, and that's the thing. So the show was like, it was like MC Hammer meets Be More Club meets like fucking James Brown. We had like routines and shit. We had like fucking Beastie Boys type rap routines, but over Baltimore Club. You know what I'm saying? It was wild, dude. It was like black music thrown together in a blender, but like on stage.
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus. We gotta see these videos now.
I know, right?
And so like when you go through that, like you were just talking about, I've gone through different stages of success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with every up, there's a down and up and down, right?
Peaks and valleys.
So how do you look at all of that now? Like
now,
do you just see it as downtime? Like
I watched the Quincy Jones documentaries recently, and he said Duke Ellington told him, you know, make sure you mind the valleys because the peaks will take care of themselves.
Some bars.
You know what I'm saying? So take that and rock with it. You know, it's like, you know, the downtime's gonna happen.
Right.
So be prepared for it. Savings accounts.
Right.
Basically.
Interesting.
One of my OGs said savings account.
But what do you call it? At the same time, you also have to have it not affect your focus and your motivation. Right?
Well, it's like you gotta not look back, and I've been guilty of that a lot. Looking back and being like, I made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was with Naeem in Australia one time, and we was on a fucking yacht, and he was like, yo, Pase, you looking way too comfortable right now, dog. Like, you haven't arrived yet. Like, this ain't it. He was like, I know we out in the middle of the ocean and we on a boat in Australia and shit, but you still in Cincinnati, dog. Like, this ain't it. You know? So you gotta not have those, you gotta not trip off those moments, really.
You gotta savor it, but you gotta know that this isn't gonna last forever.
Yeah, right? That ain't, you know, keep your eye on the prize, you know?
Yeah.
Don't look back.
That's the hardest thing, I think, with some people that I've met and some of the DJs that we've had here, like some of the veterans who have, like, you know, they've acquired like extreme success. I think sometimes it's hard because they're always measuring it to that what they had before.
Right.
And I think if you keep doing that, nothing you do in the future will seem as great. Knock on wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the toughest things I've had to see or witness is like, you know, not like a dude that's broken,
right?
But like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, right? Because it's just like it haunts you, and it just.
I know what you're saying. You know? I think you gotta really keep it trucking, and I've been really, really, really blessed. Last year was a rough year for me, like a really rough year, and I broke up with my girl. Like, I was living with my girl, broke up with my girl. I was like the lowest I ever been. My money was not looking tight. I opened the club. It was like not, you know, we was probably about to close. Like, shit was just looking dark. And then I got a call from Ross, like I always do, like, pick your ass up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we gotta get to work. And the shit literally saved my life again, man. Wow. I was fucking dark.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just, I say all that to say, you just never know, and you just got to keep going.
It's funny, man, because if they ever made a movie for him, right, Ross would be his white savior.
For sure. For sure. Facts.
Everyone be like, yo, man, why they had to put the white
I
savior?
know,
You're like, nah, he really was there to save my shit.
I mean, I got a couple of them, but you know Ross. I'm telling you about Ross. Yeah. I got a few people like that in my life. My parents are like that too.
Yeah.
But I got a few people like that in my life that they just like, yo, man, they know when to pick me up, or they just come through right on time. That like it's crazy. This is gonna sound real crazy, but it made me believe in God for real. Like, cause I just been saved so many times by these unseen forces. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the most important thing is that is when you can see the light, when you can see the revelation, like yo, this dude is saving my life, or like this dude saved me. I think a lot of people go through life not seeing that.
Oh, I see that shit clear as day.
Yeah. I think that in itself is important too. I
want to shout out my mom because it's her birthday. And she's here with me. She's not here with me right now. She wanted to come, but I was like, I'm not going to talk the same if you're here. But, she's a really spiritual person.
Yeah.
And we've been talking a lot about this kind of shit lately. And I've come to realize that I'm really in touch with my intuition.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are. And now that I know what it is, and I know what it looks like, and I know what these feelings are,
right.
It helps you kind of get in touch with it more. And if you can really tap into that shit, man, you can do a lot of great things, I think.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Trust in your gut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like trust. My grandmother too. She would always tell me like keep good people around you.
I think that's the most important thing, bro.
Yeah. She would always tell me keep. My grandmother, before she passed away, she got me this thick ass book of poetry, and she wrote me like a letter in the front of it, and I still have it. And it was basically like the lessons to life. Like this is the key to your success, basically. And she left it with me before she died, and it's written down, so I can't. It's not something I had to remember. I have it. I can still look at it and go back to it all the time, and it's just like master your daily routine and keep good people around you.
I think it's the most important shit, man. Keeping good people around.
Definitely.
I definitely see a lot of motherfuckers change. Like sometimes when they get money.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
Everybody around them changes. And then you're just like, wow, this motherfucker changed.
Money will make you do the switch up.
Yeah.
Money made me do the switch up. For sure. And you start feeling yourself too. The ego's a motherfucker. Ego and money is a motherfucker.
We scared that's gonna happen with Jamie.
Nah, I already had that. I've been telling y'all. But y'all
He said he had it, but he ain't never had money, man. He ain't had money.
Real money.
Not Pase Rock money, of course.
I'm broke.
Now
you ain't had money yet.
Not yet, but
you'll be a 100% asshole.
Nah, I come from
don't let me tell you this, don't spend it. Savings accounts.
No, I know. My father tells me all the time. Stop
sure.
wasting your money.
Nah, this motherfucker be splurging. He be buying Starbucks every day.
I know.
Fucking $4 cups.
That's
yo.
a lot.
That's
a lot of money.
7 days a week.
A lot of money.
See?
No, it's not 7 days. I calculated.
You need to stop getting avocado toast too.
That's a lot of money,
I
man.
don't get that. They're fucking with you. I don't even eat bread that much no more.
Yo, buy groceries.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
Nah, for sure, man. For sure. I went through that phase. I mean, we all went through that
Everybody
phase.
went through it.
But you got to go through that too. You got to.
I mean, yeah, you gotta go through it.
You can't go through life just being completely logical,
you gotta
rational.
Live. You gotta live too. But the smart motherfuckers that I know still got money.
Yeah.
Because they put it away.
I'm gonna take Pase Rock. I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, hey, my OG, what should I do?
He's like, nah, I don't want to be OG.
Save. Call Crooked.
Call Cricket. Your other
I'd be like, yeah, call Pase.
I'll be calling you back and forth.
You have 2 phones.
Yeah.
I wonder how much I'm gonna have to edit out of this shit.
No, you'll be
Not too
alright.
much. Yeah.
All right.
A few things. What do you call it? I mean, I feel like we should end
I'm
this on a
good.
good. We on a
Yeah,
good
I'm
note
good.
right now.
Yeah,
It's pretty
man.
positive.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
Positive,
I like
uplifting.
I like it.
Yeah.
I
You
like
brought
it. I fuck
moms
with
in the
it.
picture. You brought
Yeah.
grandmas in the picture.
Shout out to Pase
Yo,
Rock.
Pase,
Mom.
thank you, man. for
Shout
coming
out to
through,
my
man.
dad too,
Yeah,
because he probably listened to this shit.
Shout out to Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Cincinnati.
Yo,
Ken Griffin Jr.
I
Ken Griffin Jr.
got shout my Cincinnati folks. I got shout out Mood, High Tech, and my man Fat John and 5D's crew. They brought me in this game.
Wow. Pace, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for coming.
Appreciate
through.
it.
All right. Thanks for having me, for sure.
And you can find this video at youtube.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and click on the little notification bell so you can get all the videos on Friday. And
I don't know. I don't even hear what you say sometimes.
listen, as long as they can hear it,
Okay.
they can
All
hear
right.
it.
Yo, big shout out to DJ City, man, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.